Welcome everybody to the PlayStation Cup for Street Fighter 6, baby. That's right, we've got the new in the house over here. And of course, joining me, I'm James Chen. Joining me is Mr. Vicious, one of the commentators that you can hear in game. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing well. Please, Mr. Vicious is my father. Vicious is just fine. But what got me excited is the fact that PlayStation Tournaments is starting to pick up Street Fighter 6. Again, it is a brand new era of fighting games, and we are here for it. But it's also cool to be able to commentate IRL with another in-game commentator, James Chen. This is actually kind of sick. It's kind of like breaking the fourth wall, if you will, right?
I know. You could actually just put us both on and just have us, I could just sit here and go, what do you even think of doing that? Anyways, look, I just want to thank you guys all for tuning in and watching here on twitch.tv/PlayStation, youtube.com/PlayStation Esports, or wherever it is that you're watching. But also want to remind you that on youtube.com/PlayStation Esports, they are creating a very strong effort here to create a wonderful channel here with all the esports content. You can find all the tournaments, such as the EU tournament that ran earlier today. This tournament will eventually get up there as well. And not only just esports footage, a lot of tutorials, a lot of guides, and a lot of great content to find out what PlayStation is doing in the world of esports. So check that out, youtube.com/PlayStation Esports. And of course, we are here to run this tournament. So Jeremy, tell me about what we are going to see here.
Well, let's take a look at the format before we kick things off with our top 8 for today. Of course, we had the open qualifiers that led into the top 8 for today's tournament. And as usual, we're going to be running it double elimination style. One of the big changes that we've had from Street Fighter 5 into Street Fighter 6 was how fast the matches actually went through within our top 16 into top 8, right? So it's going to be best of 5 throughout the entirety of today's bracket. And of course, considering it's double elimination, we do have that potential bracket reset in grand finals, which had actually happened a little bit earlier on. Not to give the entire spoilers of what happened in the EU tournament, but just in case you hadn't looked at it, man, it was insane. So again, this is the brand new format going into Street Fighter 6 and what you could expect, right? And there's so much on the line, as usual here at PlayStation Cup, with James breaking it down for you.
That's right. Look, $500 for first place, $300 for second, and third and fourth, both with $150 here. So really nice here. But not just the money for playing fighting games at home in your living room, but you also are getting some EVO merch. Of course, EVO is coming up literally in 1 week. I don't know where. I'm not ready yet, Jeremy. I'm not packed. I have no prep going, but you know what? These winners over here will be more prepared than I will, because they will have some EVO merch that they can sport at EVO itself, because you know some of these players are heading over there. But again, $500, $300, but not just that, but some EVO merch as well for first and second place.
And that's going to be so sick to rock, because again, these are EVO exclusive items. Just to let you guys know, there's been a little bit of tidbit as to what's being put on the merch website for EVO. And I got to say, it's very cool to see some of the designs that have been going through a lot of the EVO merch recently. So again, if you want to get your hands on it pretty early, it's best you gun for those top 2 spots. But again, the cash prize also a very good motivation to getting into that top spot. But let's take a look at the bracket and what we have. We've talked about how packed over on Twitter this tournament actually is. Looking at the bracket itself from the upper side, man, we were not kidding. To kick things off, we got El Chicote going up against Arcade Rat, aka Julio Fuentes. Then we have Flux Wavez going up against Kaneki. Osvaldo Diaz, 99, the 99th one. That's right, all 98 predecessors before him couldn't make it into the upper bracket. Going up against Knuckle Doo, dang, former Capcom Cup champion. Then, of course, rounding it out with T. Smith and Gold Unit 1001. New names that I have yet to see in any tournament bracket, but I'm just excited to see them because they made it here for a very good reason.
Yeah, and again, Knuckle Doo, dang. I mean, Knuckle Doo, probably one of the favorites from North America, perhaps maybe to win Evo. But I mean, if we wanted to, put our hopes on an NA brother, he would be one of the ones to put it on right there. No pressure, Knuckle Doo. But again, also loving to see guys like Flux Wavez, who have been dominating the Street Fighter V, PlayStation Fight Nights here, still in it with the Street Fighter 6. And, you guys can compete with all these guys as well, right? This is a free to enter tournament. As we said, we have the open bracket. You just sign in, come in and play. Go to compete.playstation.com to see all the tournaments, not just for Street Fighter 6, but for all sorts of fighting games, not even for just fighting games, but all sorts of video games, competitive gaming out there. So check out compete.playstation.com, find your favorite genre of competitive games and join in with the community and, make friends here and find training partners and just have a great time and have the potential to win $500.
Yeah, and plenty of exclusive stuff to go along with it. One of the best things that I like about PlayStation tournaments that have been putting on for the community is that you could actually have a centralized hub for that same community. If you just scan the QR code down below, you can join the PlayStation Tournament's community Discord to find regular updates on all the esports events, articles, videos, and also be able to meet with the others to improve your game. That's right, I read it just as you saw it in the graphic, but I will tell you what, it is so important to be able to find something tangible within your community and be able to practice, get some sets in against certain matchups, but also be able to tune along as a group. So it's going to be really cool to see that. And if you're in that Discord already, you might be able to also check out the broadcast with your friends or with others who are just fans of the game. I think that alone should be more than enough reason for you guys to join the PlayStation Tournament's community Discord. Again, scan that QR code down below.
Yep, that's right. And I know you guys are just chomping at the bit to see the start of some Street Fighter 6 action. This game has come just absolutely blaring out of the gates. I mean, the players are ridiculous. I have not seen this kind of tech and development for a fighting game ever. Like, this is the most advanced I think a game has looked in like 2 months, and we're starting with El Chicote. Here's a perfect example here. Lily, a character that a lot of people keep saying is not very good, but then you have guys like Problem X and Combo Fiend and El Chicote getting into high ranks with this character. So I really honestly don't feel like there's a bad character in this game, but El Chicote starting with Street Fighter V and continuing here on his rampage here at the online PlayStation tournaments.
And on the other side of that coin, well, we have the character that has been doing nothing but making top 8s and also causing a riot over on Twitter for a very good reason. I think this character right here, piloted by Arcade Rat, aka Julio Fuentes, coming in from Northern California at the prime age of 31. This guy, again, he does not stop gaming, even past the age of 30. And I gotta say, man, I'm glad he's doing it for the 30 plus and over club, right? That's what I'm talking about, Julio. But I will say this, JP, very strong character right out the gate. A lot of players have been kind of migrating towards this character as well and showing off some of the really cool tech and the damage he gets to dump out on players. But also, he sets up quite the obstacle course looking at the current matchup against Lily, if I'm not mistaken. So again, JP being on the other side of that coin, a very strong character and slightly intimidating specifically for this matchup.
Yeah, you can't sit there on the other side of the screen building win charges for free. But just a little tip for you guys, for JP players, let's watch out for Kakeru from Japan at EVO this year, because he is definitely going to be one of the strongest players. But coming into this again, Julio, starting from the Street Fighter 4 days, El Chicote played Street Fighter 4, but really made a name for himself in Street Fighter 5. Kind of a generational match here, I guess you can call it. We've got the, Street Fighter 4 versus Street Fighter 5 players, and I love it. I love seeing all the generations coming out to playing this game, and I feel like this game has done a really good job working for the strong players of all classic Street Fighter games.
Man, I love this outfit, by the way, coming in from JP, but we'll talk about that later, because, I feel like that costs a pretty penny. You're going to need more than just a pretty penny going into it. If you're taking this L early with a perfect, you might not even be able to reach the upper echelons of getting that cash prize, man. How are you going to pay for this suit, baby?
what just happened? I mean,
That's a perfect.
Yeah, this is a match that we said was hard for Lily and El Chicote. Like I said, I mean, even, you know, obviously Armika started off very strong towards the end, not considered one of the best characters. He also played some Lucia as well, so he's really good at working his way through characters that aren't necessarily as strong. But I don't even want to sit here and say that Lily is not a strong character, because again, 2 months in, do we really know?
What's funny about that is, I think on paper it might be a struggle, but looking at it too, just kind of with the way that Chicote was navigating some of the traps or some of, like, you know, the projectiles and the departure setups, I think Lily might have a pretty decent time if when stuck getting past some of these with her, maybe like Condor dive, Condor spire, but that's a problem right there. Reacting to the command grab, that can be kind of sneaky, and I know that's one of Arcade Rat's go-tos, is to get a poke in there and also cancel into the command grab when you're least expecting it.
And trapped in the corner. So this is starting to look, after that first round perfect, Julio has been making this look more like what we were kind of saying it was going to be, a little bit of a tough time for El Chicote, and that super is definitely going to kill right here. So Julio Fuentes taking game number 1 over El Chicote. As we mentioned, this game is definitely a fast-paced game. There's 50-60% damage just constantly. So this is, I do not think this is the same rat that plays Millie and Strive. This is Julio Fuentes, a longtime Ken player from Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5.
No, he was a Yun player, man. He was one of the Yun patriots that we could ever ask for. He also in Third Strike, he was the Yun pioneer that had taken out Daigo at one of the NorCal regionals before. Oh, you can't do that against the Win.
Dude, you two must be best friends then, huh? Yun players to the end.
You know, it's a sibling rivalry kind of vibe. I will tell you that. Command grab is a threat.
And he's go for it out as well. So Julio, oh boy. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't cancel that in the drive impact. Even if Arcade Rat had been ready with the super, I mean, that would have just robbed him of all of his resources.
Right. You know, I think that's a good I think it's a very good observation too. Maybe Chicote was reluctant to even trying to close it out early. Maybe he was trying to force some resources out of Arcade Rat early going into the next round, right?
True. Here we go, back to this full screen again, and you can see the difficulty that El Chicote has. Doesn't have the ability to build wind power, but he had one ready to go.
That was so smart. Nice. The option select, avoiding the throw, command grab coming in. Are you going to charge up? No, he's going in for the kill now. Double drive rush over.
Yeah, that's negative right there. He did not have any win stock, but to be honest with you, I don't know if Julio was ready for it, because that should have been a much bigger punish. I think if she doesn't have a win stock charge, she's -8, I think, on Condor's Fire. So you could definitely put the hurt on her.
Oh, help! Okay, reacting, man. Okay, so that's what we were talking about earlier. Being able to change up your trajectory, avoiding the spike altogether. This might be a big play for this matchup.
Right. And again, Julio Fuentes, I just want to take the time to say I'm so glad to see him playing right now. He's had hand problems before with the joystick, you know, kind of carpal tunneling and stuff and such. And even though that problem hasn't truly been solved, he knows how to massage it more, do more of the exercises to keep it strong. And so it's really, I'm really happy to see that he can continue playing fighting games like this pro.
Right, and at the speed that he's playing, it seems like he's doing just fine. Look at that, being able to mix it up. What I love about Julio specifically is his tendencies to kind of switch it up in the projectile game to force the anti-air. That was so smart for him to force that air and then drive impact back. Chicote gets the neutral jump follow-up after that. Drive rush forward, and he forces Arcade Rat to jump, but nothing of it from Chicote. Wasn't ready for the anti-air.
Yeah, and JP has surprisingly far-range buttons. A lot of characters who can poke and keep things safe even though they're punishable. JP can punish a lot of that stuff.
Huh, counter hit.
And trust me, RNG Mama, JP's players scare a lot of people, I think. So.
Overhead. And it's Chicote again, getting the win, charge up in front of him, not going to be advised.
Ooh. Is this gonna kill?
This is your line, brother.
Is this gonna kill? Is this gonna kill? Oh my gosh, there was so much scaling. I thought it would be a lot closer than that.
Is that a line in the game? I thought it would be a lot closer. I swear, that was like a level, that was like an emotion level 4 line, I think.
Yeah. Oh man, so funny. Emotion levels, dude. But seriously, that jumping that's jumping strong from JP, right? That super long range button that just dominates. Oh no, he got hit by the spike.
I love the little reset, the air reset that Arcade Rat had gone for. I thought it was going to be canceled into maybe like a command grab, but either way, it was really slick on the pickup from Julio. Oh boy, the big punish counter on the whiff normal from Chicote.
And now you just got to sit there and hold it because that spike is just sitting there. He can manually pop the spike, he can let it come down, or he can teleport. So many options. Arcade Rat now at match point.
And have you noticed the movement? We talked about this off stream, but Arcade Rat has gone to doing a lot of down backing, right? To kind of figure, you know, or at least trying to trick Chicote into thinking the spikes are coming. But anytime he does that, he goes right into the anti-air. So far, Chicote has not been able to adapt to that movement just yet, but it's looking like Arcade Rat, yeah, he's setting up more of the spikes this time around instead of giving these false promises.
Yep, but that's plus got the shimmy, but unfortunately El Chicote a little slow on that reaction to punish the whiff throw. Oh, that was a huge opportunity for El Chicote, and now he is just having so much trouble getting in there, but good spacing on that Condor. Tries to go for the Hail Mary drive impact, not gonna work, and Arcade Rat is gonna move forward.
Did you see how many points this man Arcade Rat has? He had 104,000 points, man.
What?
That's 104,000 points, man. That is 3-1 for Arcade Rat.
Look,
moving on.
I give these players so much credit. I was watching a Snake Eye stream, and he was just like 3,000 points shy of 100 of the 100,000 as well. And it's just like, man, these guys who just have that ability to grind ranked for just hours and hours and just have these consistent wins. I mean, I don't know if it's just that I'm old, Jeremy, but like I don't got that in me anymore.
Well, I will say this, to be fair, when it comes to a certain threshold of master rank players, because you're in like a specific pool with all of them, right? I feel like, you know, the more of a disparity you have between like points against your opponent, the more you get off of those wins, right? So if it's someone like Snake,
that's true.
who is really, really good with Zangief, he happens to play against somebody who grinds a lot of the game, and the disparity is that much, he'll get awarded like what, like 100 points, 200 points per win, or something like that, or something along the lines. That's why it's so easy, or it's a lot easier to grind from like the last step of Diamond into that master rank because they give you so many more points, right? So, I think overall, you know, it's not as much of a grind, but we'll talk about that grind another time. We have our second match coming up, and again, we talked about how stacked the bracket is. Taking a look at Flux Wavez, we are blessed with another JP coming in from Montreal, Canada. Young Flux Wavez, just under the 30 club, so by default, you are young. But this guy is definitely no joke. Towards the beginning of Street Fighter V, he was such a threat with that Armika, but even more so with that Poison when he transitioned with Street Fighter V and started to really pick it up, like how the mechanics should be played out. I think that alone sets you up for success, knowing how to learn the mechanics of Street Fighter. So him piloting this JP, best believe it's going to be a problem for anybody.
And the next, and Flux Wavez is going up against RNG Mama Hell from the. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I'm just telling you, don't be scared to join tournaments. You could be here one of these days. It's fun. It's a good time. But of course, Flux Wavez is actually going up against Kaneki from Carlos, aka Carlos Serrano from Mexico. So 21 years young here, coming in here with that Ken, and obviously Ken is a very, very strong character. But again, we were kind of talking about this before the stream started. You know, I make the joke all the time, but I swear there's 10 characters in the top 5 in this tournament. I mean, in this game. The balance in this of the character in this game is shockingly super, super good for a game that just got released for the first version of a game.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of back and forth in contention for like within the top 5, but no one's willing to admit Guile's #1. But anyways, you know, all jokes aside, I think everybody that's within like the high tiers, top tiers, even like mid tiers, quote unquote, still have a fighting chance, right? I think everybody's toolkit is off the bat, I think really, really well designed, well made. So I think everybody has a fighting chance, and I do mean that. But these are the prime suspects, I feel like, that have been terrorizing the realm of Diamond 5 into Master Rank. But at a high level, this will be an explosive match, regardless of how you spin it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we just saw Arcade Rat, with the JP. He's been training with another very strong NA player in Chris Tatarian, right? So Chris T, obviously one of the best Kens out there as well. So this is definitely going to be a matchup that we're going to see quite a bit of at high levels, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm really curious to see how Kaneki is going to perform specifically. I've had my fair share of replays watched from Flux Wavez, but this is going to be explosive again. Kaneki with the modern Ken, by the way.
Modern Ken, okay, let's go. I mean, modern Ken loses a lot of things. He loses a crouching light punch, which I think is a huge button for Ken to be able to link into standing strong, on certain only +5 frame, situations.
Right.
But, I mean, having access to level 1 supers instantly and such, very, very powerful.
Oh, and I love that conversion off of the Dragon Lash, just going right into it. Kaneki. Now, he has an advantage with, I was going to say with his drive gates coming right back into it. No, he dropped the Jinrai. No shot. No
come
shot.
on. Modern controls, you can't drop combos in modern controls. Come on.
That's unfortunate. I think had he gone for just like a regular ender into like the heavy ender into uppercut, I think he would have been just fine. He would have taken the round. Man,
there's
Flux Wavez, you gotta be kidding me, brother.
The classic JP strat of crouch medium kick, crouch medium kick, crouch medium kick.
What are you gonna do about it, right? Oh,
crouch medium kick.
Yeah. What is this, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Medium kick. Medium kick. What is happening?
Oh, man.
I
also want...
Yeah.
Oh, modern
That's
controls,
fine.
let's go.
That's just fine. Yeah, for Flux Wavez, he's going to take all this damage, sit down, and shut up. Kaneki, he's going to be between a rock and a hard place, though. Even if he gets this offense off, oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, one touch away. Plus frames.
Dude,
no way!
Oh, my God. Is this happening? He's no, he missed the meaty. He missed the meaty.
Not again. And that was a prime opportunity to get a setup for Jinrai kick into chip damage depth. That could have been all
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. I do want to also give a shout-out to Brian1625 in the chat, giving me some stats over here. He says in the top 200, there are 23 Kens who is first, and there are 21 JPs in the top 200. So, yeah, probably two of the most popular master rank characters out there.
And it makes sense. It's in the lore, right? These two do have more beats than the Philly cheesesteak.
It's true.
They do. They really do, right? Like, the reason why Ken is the way he is right now. Please don't die on me, James. I need you for the rest of the top 8.
Is it going to kill? Right? Is it going to kill me? Oh, my God.
Please don't. Please don't. I need you for the rest of this top 8. Keep yourself together. Keep yourself alive, okay? But Ken, again, like this is truly a lore matchup between these two, and it's really exciting to see it. It makes sense that they're also very popular characters in the realm of ranked. But as it stands right now, specifically for this matchup, Flux Wavez, there were a few close calls, literally in back-to-back rounds, where Kaneki could have taken it away from him, and that's pretty explosive. That's how unpredictable it can be in some of these matchups. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not Kaneki has it in him to be a round closer.
I need to finish that world tour, man. I barely made it even part way through that. I need to get through the whole story.
Yeah. I made a promise to myself to play it after Evo because, it's been nothing but grind time. We have to get ourselves ready for the big dance, too. But also for something like this, too, to make sure that we have all the characters down pat for PlayStation Cup. It's great to know what we're actually getting ourselves into before the big dance, right? Knowing full well what the characters are fully capable of. But what's funny about that is, as much as we get to like watch these characters and watch these players, I feel like the meta is always evolving. The way the strategies are implemented, always evolving. So we can know it on paper, but we get to see it really shine in the hands of some of these players.
Yeah, we were even talking about this. Both you and I agree that, for example, a character like Blanca hasn't reached his true potential yet, because we both feel like he's super good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Every time I fight a Blanca, I mean, it's the same thing when I fight Ken. I'm always just like, why does he have this? Why did they give Blanca an air throw? Why does he have a plus on block air EX Blanca ball? It's just
Yeah,
why does he get to throw Blanca Chan dolls and skip neutral with this thing?
I'm not gonna lie, he deserves it. Like, he deserves the world, right? He worked so hard to push his Blanca-chan in Street Fighter V. I'm glad that he's finally able to advertise officially in Street Fighter 6. And also, he's never had an air throw, has he? Ever.
Never,
right?
never. And let me just say, look, as an old school player, I have like trauma from Blanca being strong in Hyper Fight days. So a strong Blanca definitely, like I'll see it, and then like all of a sudden you'll see me like in the fetal position in the corner shaking because, hyper fighting Blanca was a thing. Let me tell you.
I will only experience that every so often, but hopefully never. But there will be times, there will be moments where it's like, I totally understand it. Like, this character is kind of nuts. But we are having a little bit of a checkup between both of our players right now. Again, Flux Wavez did manage to get the first W against Kaneki. He's currently reconnecting to the lobby. Just full transparency for you guys that are tuning in. We are still having the best of 5 being played out in just a few minutes. But as it stands right now, it was pretty darn close between the two. It went down to the wire for at least how much life was left on Flux Wavez's behalf, and also how he was in burnout, right? Kaneki, he's had the right idea, I think, to kind of go ham, even if he had the life deficit. I think overall, like, it could be pretty overpowering and kind of intimidating mentally, like, to apply that mental stack, even if you're losing, right? Like, skipping neutral with Dragon Lash is a pretty dang good way to start it off.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, Kaneki lost both of those rounds on drops, right? He dropped the combo with the funky kicks, basically, with the Jinrai, and then just mistimed the meaty at the very end of the previous of this next round. And so he was right in there just for a couple of mistakes. And again, that's experience, right? You are, I mean, again, not to make a generic comparison here, but like, you're not going to make the game-winning shot without missing like 5 of them first, right? It's just one of those things that you take as you continue to grow stronger. So again, people saying they're scared to enter these tournaments over here, dude, don't be scared, man. Like, this is the experience that'll get you in there. It's fun. It's adrenaline pumping. Look, I'll tell you right now, 100%, if you in your first tournament, you will be shaking. Like, and you will be like, oh my God, so nervous. But it's just at the same time, that adrenaline, that kind of thing, it makes you feel alive, dude. It's a wonderful feeling. So
that also applies to being up on the stage, no matter what like phase of the tournament it is, for like streaming. Some of these majors, when they call your name, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a stream match. By the way, you'll get used to it eventually. But man,
I never
actually, I don't think you do. Yeah, now I think about it, every single time I've had to gone up for a stream match, I'm like, man, my heart's about to jump out of my chest.
Like, there is obviously a player out there very famous for that, even having it named after him. The float, as we call it from time to time. But like, that was me too at Wednesday Night Fights when we used to play in the Street Fighter 4 days. Like, I was just win. You're up on stream, and I never win. Like, from what people saw at home, I never won.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the hardest part, man. Like, you'll have a long run, but to be fair, it's like that's what happens in the bracket. It's like you're starting to face off against players that are of your skill level. But the coolest thing about entering that tournament, though, is how often will you get that experience against that player outside of like a normal local scene or something, or like if you don't happen to know that person personally, would you ever be able to hit them up for a set, right? More often than not, they'll be open to it, but I'm pretty sure like sometimes you won't necessarily get that outside of the tournament experience. And what's also cool about that is you get the replays for it. Right? If it's an online tournament specifically, you get the replays for it. All right, enough babbling. We got Flux Wavez going back up against Kaneki into our game number 2 in just a little bit. So we are hopping back into it, but as it stands right now, a very close call from both rounds in game 1.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see if Flux Wavez is going to be like, okay, this guy is kind of scary. This modern Ken's kind of scary, so try to play a little more carefully here, or maybe focus a little more on the zoning. But again, you know, the strength of the drive rush right there. Characters like DJ and Jury and Ken, especially with that drive rush heavy punch. God, that heavy punch, that thing is an affront to humanity, dude. I know I say this every stream, but geez, that standing heavy punch with Ken, like every time I get hit by it on my stream, I get so salty. I'm just like, why does he have that? And
that's me with low medium pick again. Oh boy, what are we? You know what's really cool about this? He didn't hit him with the dizzy yet, right? He still happened. Oh, wait a minute. He's hitting it with all the meats, dude. I don't even know if that was a true combo. Yo, Flux Wavez just tried to get out of the corner twice over. That's why both medium punches didn't connect, right? It was just raw hits. He got caught trying to move.
It's so funny because, like, for us as classic players, seeing a Shoto walk backwards and then DP at the last second is so weird looking. It's so jarring. But you can do that in modern.
Forward throw initiating the possible pressure, but no, Flux Wavez.
Oh, are you serious?
Modern reactions, baby. Modern problems require a modern solution, and that's it. Oh, baby.
Oh,
we got a little bit left. The magic pixel. Wait a minute. No shot.
Dude. Okay, see, this is the thing, right? If you are fighting against a modern player, sometimes you have to change. I mean, just think of it as a different groove or a different ism if you're a CVS2 or an alpha player. It's like a different mode for the character. You have to play very differently. You can't test the reactions of these players. And you also just have to keep in mind what they're missing, right? So Ken is definitely missing some crucial moves, as I mentioned before. Oh.
Yeah, so he has to play a totally different playstyle. Like, if you're familiar with a classic Ken matchup, I feel like it's not going to be as, you know, as important in regards to facing a modern one, right? You can't do certain things hoping you can get away with it because the reactions are going to be that much easier to execute some of these moves. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Driving back towards the wall? Not quite.
I have seen some players talk about this and saying that, you know, one of the things about modern controls is that it really forces you to play a much slower game. You have to be very cognizant of sticking buttons out and such. So, you know, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing to have to navigate.
Oh, the fancy stuff! Yo, Kaneki, he's been spending some time on the Bird app. I'm telling you what, that is a very, very tricky combo to get. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The damage incoming. So I think that leaves Flux Wavez within throw range.
Oh, but he's burned out. He's burned out now, too. When Kaneki just has this full meter. So, yeah, just goes for the chip at that point. So, nice. So, Kaneki here trying to go up 2-1, perhaps. Let's see if Flux Wavez can keep him out. Oh!
And I love that. the two button press, by the way. Watch out for the drive impact. It just might be.
Yeah, both players are so close to being burned out right now. It's a scary, scary situation.
Yeah. Oh! Flux just tried to jump out of there. He got clipped with the Dragon Lash. Here comes the drive rush to air. No, sir. Kaneki's still enforcing the pressure. And I love the back away to Flux Wavez. He's getting damaged midair.
Still no... He hasn't been able to build back that drive gauge at all. Kaneki goes up 2-1. Ken loses the... Well, he has a crouching light punch, but can only be done out of a chain. But he also loses crouching medium punch. But to be honest with you, like, those are the main ones that he loses. Those are the main things that he loses outside of light and medium fireballs.
That's not bad. It's really, really not too bad, right? You could still do like the fireball motions and other fireballs manually to get the certain speeds, right? In Modern, you could do that. That applies to every special move, so that's not bad at all.
not 100% true, because remember, there's only a circle forward motion, and so the different strengths choose the strength of the Jinrai. So you can't, since that's overlapping,
fair.
you don't get multiple fireballs. You only get the one fireball.
Oh, that's new. That's right, because he has 2 quarter circle forward motions. That makes sense. That makes sense. I was
Nice,
thinking of it like
okay.
Ryu, but I'm like, oh, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I mean, oh, here we go, counter, and that should be able to combo. No, okay. I thought he had the EX was
That
gonna
is
combo.
sick, man. The audacity from Kaneki Ken. That is a mentally damaging cry for
Yeah.
ODDP, man. That is now Flux Wavez is like, man, I don't know what to do. I don't even know if I should apply pressure anymore, because this guy, he's unpredictable.
So, one of the most important things here, there's a wonderful spreadsheet that was put together by Castle09 on Twitter that has all of the moves that are missing here. But Ken also loses light and medium Dragon Lash, which means you always know it's the heavy one that he does, so that you can always challenge it if he cancels into it, or you don't have to worry about, the different frame date on them.
How interesting. Man, that's a lot of overlap from Ken.
Yeah, but look at this, Kaneki on the verge of sending one of our JP players to the losers bracket already. Oh, he snuck.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be so sick. So I think you could I think you could OD Dragon Lash off of that to connect.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, I think there was enough hang time on that bad boy to get the link off of it, but perhaps I could be wrong. Maybe it was like a spur of the moment kind of thing. It's hard to tell. But I will say this, man. It's really interesting game design wise to see these overlaps and what the decision is behind what moves should take priority, right?
Right. But I'll tell you right now, Flux Wavez is wedding, dude. He is just like, man, this is what I gotta deal with. Oh, man. Oh, no. Kaneki's in.
Oh boy.
Oh,
and that
got
was
the cross up.
just at the
But he
right
didn't.
time.
Yeah. Do those magic jumps like that. And Steve Flux Wavez is doing a lot of raw drive rushes in there. That's something you don't want to challenge modern players a lot with, because they can just DP you as soon as they see the green a lot quicker than a lot of other, than classic players. So it's raw drive rush is one of those tactics that's a little scary. Oh, is he gonna get the kill off of that? He is. Look at this. The spike coming in clutch for Flux Wavez, and he stays alive. Oh boy.
Right into the next game. I gotta tell you what, man, that feature of the instant rematch is probably one of my favorite things. One of the best quality of life things that we've had in a Street Fighter game ever.
It's confusing because, I remember, the first week when we were commentating this game, I'm so used to seeing KO and having all this time to talk about the previous round, because we kind of had to, right? Because we had to fill in that time. And so I'd be like, yeah, I noticed that in that preview, and then the next match is starting. I'm like, okay, let's shut up now.
I'm still waiting for the thumbs up moments, man. Oh, that's a big punish counter. No, not quite.
Oh, he's in there. Yep. Especially in Burnout, that heavy Dragon Lash becomes that scarier to deal with.
That was slick. Oh man,
no.
Flux Wavez, he's not making the right reads against some of these decisions, right? The drive impact is just raw like that. Kaneki is just throwing him for a loop, and I don't mean Jinrai loops. He's legit just kind of keeping Flux Wavez confused about the wheel of options that Kaneki has.
Yeah, I mean, Kaneki has done a good job just mixing between just jump in, dash in, drive rush in, EXDP here and there, Dragon Lash, but look at this, I love that. Flux Wavez, again, knowing that it's the heavy Dragon Lash, as soon as you see him squat, go for the drive impact,
You gotta pay attention to the quads, right? You gotta see the flex before the Dragon Lash comes out every single time.
I mean, honestly, I think that's one of the most powerful things about the Dragon Lash, and it's really hard to see coming because the startup is so subtle.
Oh boy, that's diabolical.
Okay.
The perfect parry, sending him back full screen. Not quite dead yet. The departure, one-way ticket to the next round. Not quite.
Oh, he's scared. Flux Wavez knows that critical art can come at any second right now. He's scared. Oh, there we go. The punching medium kick. All right.
It's so scary, man. considering how often and how liberally he used the OD uppercut on Wake Up, it's kind of hard for Flux Wavez Z, right?
Okay, here we go. Final game, final round. Like I said, I mean, here's the funny thing is that Flux Wavez in the Street Fighter V matches would always like end up getting sent to losers bracket early on and then make all the way back to grand finals. So even if he goes to losers bracket, he knows he can come back, but you still don't want to go down there, man.
No, not ever. Considering how stacked this upper bracket is, I wouldn't advise that at all.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Sneaking his way in there. But like I said, those raw drive rushes, every time I see Flux Wavez go for those raw drive rushes, like,
oh my god! The amount of damage, not as much. But I will say this, the drive gauge being gone is so impactful for Flux Wavez. Or against Flux Wavez, I should say. Oh! Connect it! Oh! Connect the dots, baby!
Dude. Oh, man. But like I said, those raw drive rushes were scaring me, and sure enough, he took advantage of it. But here we go. Flux Wavez, however, not in critical art, so again, this won't do that much damage. But it's good enough to put Kaneki into the danger zone. But Kaneki's not going to get a critical art.
But he's burnt out. Oh, the anti-air. This should be more than enough. Yes, sir. Flux Wavez Z sends Kaneki down to the lower bracket off of nothing but patience and discipline to catch that anti-air. Nice work from Flux Wavez.
Oh, man. But you know Flux Wavez was sweating, and just a good little preview here of what, you know, modern controls can do. Like I said, it's interesting that, I mean, there is a possibility that Flux might not have even noticed that he was in modern this entire time, you know, because, like, I know one time I was fighting against a Zangief, and until he air SPD'd me instantaneously, I was like, wait a second.
Something's off.
He's modern.
Yeah, I've made it a thing to, like, initially check out what control type my opponent is using every single time, just to be fully aware of like, what the strategy needs to be. So it's a different matchup. But let's take a look at the bracket and what had transpired recently between these four competitors. Obviously, that puts Arcade Rat going up against Flux Wavez Z in the second round of the upper bracket. But of course, we still have plenty more to go through. We have Osvaldo Diaz 99 going up against former Capcom Cup champ Knuckle Doo, and of course T Smith against Gold Unit 1001.
And a lot of the players, you know, when we show their play cards, you can also, if they decide to give it to us, you can see their Twitch channels. A lot of these guys stream their tournament runs as well. We won't be streaming a lot of the lower bracket matches down there, so Kaneki and El Chicote will be playing off stream. However, if you want to see what they're doing, I'm sure El Chicote is streaming his tournament run, or Kaneki might be streaming his tournament run as well. So definitely check those channels out if you want to see what those guys are doing. But again, I love seeing it though. You know, I mean, again, a lot of people out there are like, oh, I don't want to fight modern. Modern should be banned. But it's honestly a different mode. It's a different kind of game that you have to play. And again, if you don't take the time to study what it is the characters lose, that takes away a huge advantage from yourself. I mean, because some characters, like Manon loses her standing roundhouse, like that is just like,
that's huge.
Changes the way that she plays completely, you know? Like, you have to understand these things in order to fight these characters, and if you don't take that time, you're only hurting yourself, honestly.
True. Yeah, I think it's a pretty considerable thing to look into, especially going into EVO, right? A lot of players have not necessarily dismissed, like, modern controls, but I will say, like, at least overseas, it's been a very, very considerate topic, right? We're starting to see a lot of these pro players manage master ranks with some of these with some of the modern controls, right? But it's gonna be a whole different story. Hopefully we get to see more modern controls in this next matchup. Let's take a look at what Osvaldo Diaz is coming in with for match number 3. Another JP, color me happy, no sarcasm. I really enjoy seeing JP only because of the different play styles that we might potentially see. But of course, Osvaldo coming in at age 23 from Mexico as well. This is going to be overall, you know, a very similar gameplay with JP. We understand like his general motives and what he wants to do, but I really want to know specifically what Osvaldo has to bring to the current matchup against one of the champs of Street Fighter.
This is going to be our third match in a row with JP, but look, Knuckle Doo, we all know that even though Guile could potentially be the best character in this game, JP is one of his tougher matches, and Knuckle Doo definitely has a Cami as well. And we've seen him bust out the Cami versus JP's before, so I'm curious to see what Knuckle Doo decides to go with. He's obviously known for the Guile, very strong with the Guile, and Knuckle Doo is, like I said, just probably in the running for top 5 NA players right now of Street Fighter 6. He's been winning a lot of the online tournaments that we've been seeing recently, and you know, between him and Kaba and Akainu and all these Guile players out there, just really, I mean, even to the point of getting Mena RD salty about Guile, you know. So curious to see how what Knuckle Doo decides to go with here, though. Does he mock the Guile, or does he go with the Cami with this little JP preview, seeing his opponent using?
Right, so I think majority of the times, or at least that I've seen in like a can opener, ICFC, TNS, etc., anytime Knuckle Doo has faced off against JP, he has opted to go for Cami. Majority of the time. I don't think Guile players enjoy this matchup specifically because JP can pretty much go even with the amount of projectiles that Guile can bust out, right? Whether it's like a perfect boom, whether it's a Sonic Blade setup, I think the spike from JP pretty much nullifies that aspect of the matchup. I think the spike being so much faster within multiple ranges can really put a hamper on what Guile wants to do with neutral, and it would be far less annoying if you can't throw those booms out as freely as you used to.
All I have to say is, poor Guile's getting outzoned. Aww.
I wasn't going to be the one to say it. I was
doing it for 3 decades, Guile. Well, we don't know who he's going with yet. That's just a player card here. So let's see what Knuckle Doo is going to go with. I mean, maybe he isn't watching the stream, doesn't know that Osvaldo is going to go with the JB, so maybe he might start with the Guile, switch to a Cami later on. But I still remember very early on Knuckle Doo playing a first to 10 with Sonic Fox, Guile versus JP, just to get that practice in case he needs it. But never mind, here we go. It is going to be the Cami.
I love his CFNs, like his multiple CFNs. Yo, Bob Custom Gamer, he's really putting in the work in the streets.
Bob Custom Gamer. All right, okay. But
it's so funny Cami too. Is new challenger Cami, by the way. Excellent. Most excellent.
Cami is obviously a character that a lot of people talk about as being one of the strongest over here. And you can see kind of why over here. Knuckle Doo just coming in and just running over Osvaldo.
We didn't even get to talk about the actual matchup. This is the speed that Cami gets to play in. We talked about revving the engine early. Yo, Cami gets to play in 5th gear right as soon as the round starts. This is a little bit of a speed check from Osvaldo. He's not able to stop the plethora of normals coming in and the side switch as well, but it's mostly been nothing but lights and nothing but aggression from Mr. Custom Gamer. Yo, Knuckle Doo dang, doing whatever it takes. It's for his family. Double perfect.
Double perfect. Look, I'm telling you right now, man, I use this character and she feels like work. And then you see people like Punk and Knuckle Doo play Cami and you're just like, what am I doing wrong? The way they play this character is just so frightening.
Yeah. You know, I think Gachikun had said it best too. He's had an interview multiple times about what you're supposed to do when you're playing against certain tier levels of tournament players, right? Like, if you think that they're not going to be up to snuff in regards to, like, your aggression, then by all means start with that. But as soon as they start adapting, that's when you start putting in, like, the matchup knowledge specifically.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's always one of those tough things that a lot of people have to learn when they play fighting games, especially when you're playing longer sets. You want to win with as little as possible and only add the more advanced stuff later on. You know, because you need to have new stuff to catch people off guard as much as possible. Can he kill off of this? No, it's not going to be quite enough. Oh,
if he did level 1, it would have killed, but I think there was just so much of a comfort zone for Knuckle Doo to kind of just enforce his will, even against Osvaldo. If anything, right, he just wanted to save the meter for the next round because of that confidence. But going into it, any big blow-up could lead to so much damage, and most importantly, momentum. Knuckle Doo getting the first throw, already towards the corner. Osvaldo trying to figure it out. No, sir, the dive kick. It's the neutral stopper.
Oh, no. Accidentally did the wrong drill right there. But here we go towards the corner and tried to go for a little bit of a shimmy, but nice from Osvaldo waking up with a low attack, catch him walking back. However, he cannot get Knuckle Doo off of him at all, and Knuckle Doo just spending the cash right there, knew it was gonna kill, burns himself out, takes game number 2. We are doing some serious AGDQ right now. I mean, honestly, this is ridiculously fast.
I think to myself, AGDQ, all gamers disqualified. Every single time. No, all games done quick. It's looking pretty much at that speed, right? Forward throw immediately after from Knuckle Doo. He intentionally dropped the combo question mark on that one, but yeah, for that one, that is a classic reset. The lights, thinking it's going to be a spiral arrow, instead goes for drive impact. There we go, Osvaldo. We're fighting back.
Okay, now, can he keep Knuckle Doo out? And this is, of course, why Cammy is so good at fighting against JP. It's just her walk speed. She can just kind of walk to avoid a lot of the spikes a lot of the times. Uh-oh, got thrown, and now, oh, okay. Oh, didn't get the conversion, no.
That's rough too. It's so disheartening too. When you get that initial hit, you're like, all right, I finally opened it up. Then you drop it. It's like, man, it's a little discouraging. But
Wong factor, man. That's called the Wong factor. You hit someone like Knuckle Doo, and you're like, I hit Knuckle Doo. I gotta make this count. And then you just nerve yourself into a combo drop. Unfortunately.
There's still a chance for Osvaldo. Again, he's starting to pick apart when to throw out some of these normals, but the roundhouse will get punished as well. The dive kick, again, completely stopping the drive rush options, and that jump in was so good, too. Just defensive jump back in the corner still works so well in this game.
Yeah, but again, you see how Cammy just bypassed that entire danger zone of JP just by walking? And right there, that is one of the things that the pro Cammy players, aka not me, that they use all the time is just walk up standing light punch a bunch, and they frame trap you with that, and when they connect it, it goes into the light kick, into the drive rush, and they get a full knockdown combo into continued pressure, and it's such a powerful tool, and Knuckle Doo dang showing what you can do with this character.
Yeah, no doubt, man. There's just so much to really consider in regards to like what Cammy is capable of, but let alone just the momentum that you have to, or the speed that you have to play at majority of the time. It's so hard to like get her off of you once she started, right? You see how many times he had to guess in the corner, Osvaldo that is, in regards to whether it's going to be a strike, whether it's going to be a throw, even the addition of drive impact in the corner. Like if there was a heat map in this game of how often you would see drive impact, majority of the time, it's like inside the NBA, right? How often has this person shot a 3-pointer from like what angle, right? It's the same thing. It's like how often has this player used drive impact and where? Majority of it would be in the corner.
Yeah, and the crazy thing was Knuckle Doo really only used that drive impact, I think that one time that it ended, right? Because he was just like, I have just basically never done this. You're not thinking about this at all, right? So unless you have, unless you're like Phenom and just have reactions like you can't even imagine, you're like, that's gonna catch you. So
perhaps.
But Knuckle Doo dang is moving forward. No shock there. I suppose, like we said, is one of the strongest in the country right now. But let's take a look at the next match coming up as well. I believe our first player is T. Smith.
Yeah.
Terrence Smith from Atlanta, Georgia, with the E-Honda potentially now. E-Honda, what a character to talk about.
I love Honda, man.
Dude,
I really do. I think his design, the stuff that he has, it's so intimidating and it's so good. And I'm not even being sarcastic. I think he's a great character. And I'm kind of curious to see how T. Smith is going to pilot him. I want to know if it's going to be like bullying with the headbutts and butt slams and just, rinse repeat, or if we're actually going to see some real presence in neutral. Going into his opponent, though, Gold Unit 1001. I got to say, man, Marisa is one of my favorite characters to watch. She is the character that just makes your health bar explode. And again, with Gold Unit being at 35 coming in from Illinois, I do not want to butcher your name, but I imagine it's like Theother. I don't want to butcher it, so my apologies if I do. But Theother Sykes, that's a really sick name, by the way. I'm very curious to see what he has in store for his opponent. But overall, this is going to be like the Clash of Titans, right? E Honda and Marisa have both been very dominant, I think, in the realm of the Diamond Leagues. So I want to know if these two have the juice with the characters.
Again, I'm so ecstatic how the design team got Marisa just right, because she's supposed to be that character that melts your health, you know? And the fact that they got her to do that, and yet she's not like clearly just overpowered, but she still gets to do it is it's absolute. Like, from a design standpoint, the way she's animated, the impact of her moves, everything, I love this character so much.
Yeah, I think she was specifically designed to break the main mechanic of Street Fighter, which is anything utilizing the drive gauge, right? I think she was meant to break drive impacts to really, you know, take advantage of like drive parry situations too with her command grab, giving her a command grab, right? So I think she's a complete package in regards to disregarding the drive system. But here we go. Already off to a great start.
By the way, Jeremy, I just want to say that Gold Unit 1001 posted in the chat and said that you pronounced it right. And said
yes! Damn. Let's go.
Ooh, tried to do a wake-up parry there, no throw. But here comes Terra. This is what Honda does, right? Burnout City. That is the name of Honda's game right there. He burns you out so fast, it's crazy. And just like that, taking advantage of that burnout. And T. Smith taking round number 1 quickly.
And so that was an attempt to try to counter whatever it was T. Smith had in mind. Or sorry, yeah, whatever T. Smith had with his normals too, or at least with the drive impact. You saw a punish counter rather than the wall splat stun. Oh boy, sent a full screen.
And then the burnout again already. So now this is chip damage. Look how much chip damage you're taking with that. A whiff punish with the butt slam, and then oh my God, T. Smith is definitely. And again, it's aggressive. It hasn't been the classic just headbutt, butt slam, headbutt, butt slam, butt slam, headbutt. Yeah. But it's still been very aggressive.
And I like that. Hey, I didn't realize both of the initials of both of these players are TS. It's the battle of the T's, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Theothar Sykes and Terrence Smith. There you go.
That's
TS.
cool.
It's an Elliott. It's an Elliott match over here. So. Oh,
well, this is gonna be so intimidating, right? He does have the praise the sun buff. Oh, that's unfortunate. You can't go on the other side. Yeah. Able to get the hands afterwards. Multiple hands at that. He wasn't even done with the combo. T. Smith already making quick work of that first round of game 2. Don't let him praise the sun for free. Too late.
Too late.
Too late.
And then, yeah, that butt slam, that move is just something you have to keep in mind is there all the time. Because it is the ultimate interrupter. It catches you dashing forward. It catches you neutral jumping. Oh, here we go. Opportunity now for Gold Unit. No. Doesn't have it. Okay, here we go. Knockdown. Has the burnout situation. What a jump, but that isn't going to be able to charge long enough to punish the butt slam on the way down. They go right back into it for game number 3.
Have we seen a modern Honda player yet? I wonder how intimidating that would be.
Ooh. I mean, didn't we see that in that special stream a while ago with the God, I forgot which one it was, but there was the one girl who was playing the modern Honda and just butt slammed everybody to death.
Yeah, I think you might be right. You might be right. What I'm talking about at this level right now, if you were to see like T. Smith perhaps like piloted in modern, because that's what it's looking like right now. He hasn't really been tried and tested just yet by Gold Unit, and I kind of want to see what happens if he's put on the defensive end. We're starting to see that now with Gold. The drive impact gets crushed.
Nice.
By the held down Gladius. That's what I like to see.
Right.
Damn! What an anti-air!
Alright, Gold Unit making the adjustments necessary, it looks like. Here we go, to the corner, safe jump set up. No, actually, is just gonna finish the combo off, and that's gonna be a punish as well. You could be dead. She's about to get the level 3, gets it, and boom, just like that, Honda is dead. 84 seconds left in the round, and he is dead already.
It was so good of a match, Arcade Rat was like, hold on, I gotta spectate this in person. That was kind of nuts. But hey, we're starting to see the big adaptation coming in from Gold Unit. I was kind of curious as to what was going to be the answer for the Honda matchup, but it is indeed 2-1. We are going back into it. Yes, sir. Right away.
T. Smith now needs to see if he can make a little bit of the adjustment over here. You can see Gold Unit really taking advantage of Maria's armor a lot more now. Ooh, but that one, I think he let go too early, but it was 2 hits anyway. So,
yeah.
See the neutral jumps, baiting out the head, trying to bait out the headbutt. Oh no, frame traps. Yeah, you can't press buttons. Oh, got away from the command throw.
He wasn't even done with the combo. The sit down 2 would have solicited a headbutt no matter what. So T. Smith looking at match point. Damn! We got the car grab into the Oicho. The disrespect.
Plus
Send
frames
home.
into the throw. That wasn't even a true combo. Oh, I think isn't that plus frames as well on the drive rush stomp?
It should be, but I have to double
one.
check.
Yeah.
Man.
Gold Unit now trying to find a way to approach. And dude, this is so old school Honda. Like, I see this in my nightmares from being a Super Turbo player. Honda just going backwards and holding down back, and you gotta find a way in. Oh no, what was that about?
What's even scarier is that his headbutt, or sorry, his supers actually work the way it's intended in this game. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Look at this, like this one
Speaking
specifically.
of.
Yeah. Command grab range?
Almost dead now.
No way.
What?
No
That
way.
was sick. That was sick. And she can kill. She can kill. Oh, but what jump back in the corner by Terrence Smith, T. Smith. And he's going to take it with the Honda and send Gold Unit 1001 to the losers bracket, to the lower bracket.
So that was a quick 3-1. And I will say the adaptation was coming in from Gold Unit. It was actually quite impressive to see that perfect that he got for the first game, or at least the second game that he won, right? And now I'm kind of looking. Oh, you can't just go back to casters and show off the cat, man. But I will say this. I think there's a lot of the adaptation in mind from Gold Unit that just really didn't get to come to fruition afterwards. T. Smith always keeping it unpredictable. And it is quite true. When I do say unpredictable, right, especially with what Honda can present as a meaty, also even with drive rush as well. But we'll see if that kind of goes along into what's happening in the bracket. So T. Smith is moving on. Let's take a look at who he has to face off against, but also more importantly, let's take a look at the lower bracket as well. We've seen some of that action already transpiring, but just to remind you folks at home, Knuckle Doo into the second round against T. Smith. But the lower bracket, some parts of those matches will be played off stream, as we saw just now. El Chicote taking it down 3-0 against Kaneki. And it's going to be Gold facing off against Osvaldo as well later on.
I would have really loved to have seen that El Chicote match, because that was Lily versus Modern Ken. So I really wanted to see how El Chicote handled that, you know, how he decided to fight against the Ken. Or it could just be a situation. One of the advantages, of course, playing a character like Lily, like Zangief, a lot of people don't have that practice against these characters, right? Because you don't see them as often. There are situations, I mean, we all remember the Red Bull Kumite, it was. Right. Idom kind of got bodied by Problem X's Lily, right? And Idom was like, I don't want to make any excuses. I don't want to make excuses. And then they interviewed Problem X, and he was like, Problem X was like, he clearly didn't know the Lily matchup. You know, like, he made an excuse for Idom, you know, and it's true, though, because that's how you can, it's a strategy sometimes, playing the lesser known, playing lesser used characters at a level beyond what you're used to catches a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, with mechanics that Lily has, or at least her toolkit that she has, can be kind of problematic, right? Being able to have some really, really good lengthy normals, kind of forcing the initiative with some of like the wind charges, and also just having a command grab could be kind of dire. But taking a look at what we had earlier, right? We talked about the upper bracket. Our next matchup coming up should be just as exciting as the last. Taking a look at
Flux
it.
Wavez
and
Arcade
Rat. The JP Mirror, who is the true Shadowloo financial advisor, while they're going to duke it out for that CEO spot.
I mean, the curious thing right now is, you know, Flux Wavez when he played Street Fighter V, he had command. You mentioned it. You know, he has command over like 2 or 3 different characters, and even during the course of the PlayStation Fight Nights, we had seen like at least 4 characters out of Flux Wavez. He's very good at diversifying his character picks, so I'm curious to see if he's actually going to go with the JP mirror, or maybe he might bust out like a Cammy or a Jury or something like that out of nowhere.
I mean, that would be ideal, right? But I think somebody like, or you know, someone like Arcade Rat is more than welcoming to the mirror match. I think there's a lot of pride on the line, and I don't mean this from like the actual line itself in the game. Pride is definitely something that some of these players keep in mind in regards to the mirror match. It's like, you know what, I want to show off that I am definitely the better JP player. Right, we've seen guys like Punk do that as well. Like, I'm the better Cammy player, or better like Colleen player from 5, right? So we'll see, man. Right now, just about even, but Flux Wavez Z, he's the one with all the estate, but also he's the one in Burnout, right?
And of course, I love the fact that they're using the 2 different costumes here. But look at this, gonna go for the level 2 here. Maybe try to set him up for a wall splat situation over here. Yes, he tried to teleport in, didn't see the jump back from Flux Wavez. Can Flux actually steal this off of? Oh no, the spike didn't hit.
No. Oh, and that hit at, it hit at the tip, just at the end of the spike. Listen, man, if Mario barely touches one in one of his games, you should also get damage for touching one of them in this game. I gotta say, man, that was just at the last tail end of that hitbox. That was kind of nuts. The juggle too from Arcade Rat.
Oh, poor Mario.
So sick.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Air throw. And now close to burnout as well. Dude, they're both on the verge of burning out at this point. Look at this. But Flux Wavez should just be able to get the kill. No, not quite enough. The drive rush and the throw, and you know what? Flux is burned out, but the jab trades, and he stays alive. Wow.
Yeah, no priority system in place here, right? So even if the roundhouse happened to show off or like show up at the same frame as like maybe the jab, it'll still be a trade no matter what, right?
Okay, Flux Wavez right now pushing Arcade Rat a little bit into the corner here. Gets the drive rush in there, but Flux Wavez putting himself in a very, very low drive gauge situation, which is why he goes into the level 3 to build some of that meter back and drain Arcade Rats, and now they're virtually even.
Man, this turned around in a huge way for Flux Wavez. See, the momentum, also the drive gauge disadvantage for Arcade Rat. This was a true showcase of like patience and outplaying the other JP, man, I gotta say.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I bet you Flux Wavez probably was more comfortable fighting this than against the modern Ken he had to face.
True that.
In the previous, because he was just like, you tell he was sweating that match, and here he's just like, nah, I've got this. I've fought other JPs before. Oh. Julio is not blocking on his wake up, dude. He is just eating meaties all day.
At least he knows the gaps and understands. That was kind of a risk too, because if it was command grab, he would have definitely got smoked. But this is great. A huge starting opportunity for Arcade Rat. Departure on the way in. Oh, he tried to get a throw bait, right? That was the neutral jump roundhouse. But it's Flux Wavez managing himself out of the corner and netting himself that round for game 2.
Okay. Flux Wavez, wow, spending meter right away on those EX spikes, on the OD spikes. Again, look at the difference in drive gauge right now. Flux Wavez is being very aggressive. Arcade Rat trying to conserve that meter a little bit. And like I said, he practiced with Christotarian a lot, and I know that crew likes to manage their drive gauge very, very carefully. Right.
Makes a lot of sense. Oh, too sharp of an angle. He thought it was going to be a throw. Afterwards, Flux Wavez gets a lot of damage on the table. Option select, no. He can't drive it back. He had to commit to a super. Or maybe even Amnesia, right? But it's
right.
Getting the round back.
Ooh, yep, there you go. That EX fireball such a wonderful tool. You can tell the advanced JP players that because they use that EX fireball at closer ranges, because even on block it just pushes them so far away. It's a great way to cover that space that people try to get to all the time.
The art of equivalent exchange here for the drive gauge. A huge benefactor for Flux Wavez. Wait a minute! You're within range of a grab, and he does get it to seal in game number 2 straight against Arcade Rat. That is 2-0, and it's been very intimidating in the corner for Arcade Rat. He's not found the answer yet. Double spikes make it a triple with a side of departure. Arcade Rat is in trouble. The drive rush, he finds the opening off the low. Oh, you are so tricky.
That's definitely more of an Arcade Rat thing. Julio did. Oh no! Flux Wavez with reaction, and you beautiful. He saw that he was in range to be able to burn him out, so he just threw that out. But I love what Arcade Rat's doing. Flux Wavez has not been able to get his own spike out in time. Finally getting the advantage here.
Yeah, after so many bits of spike touching him, the life deficit still actually evens it all up against Arcade Rat, but now he's close to burnout and just gets it right then and there. The drive impact. You can't mess
Didn't have a drive impact to counter that.
Flux Wavez was trying to parry the spike, but if he does not perfect parry it, he doesn't get his turn. He is not able to outpace Arcade Rat in the spike war.
Dude, the way that he just casually strolls across the screen, that walking animation for JP, makes me laugh every time he goes like full screen.
That's more so like the I'm late for a meeting walk. Please get out of my way.
Yeah. Ooh.
There it is, yeah.
There it is. Oh, man.
And it's so funny, like all of his moves is he's telling you to get out of the way, right? Here comes the level 3. Wanna know how this ends? In ruin. Man, I love that line. It's so sick. But like all of his moves, right? He's telling you to get out of the way. He's like, move, go, move.
I thought he was just sounding like a cow.
Yeah, and he goes, excuse me. Like,
ooh, perfect parry for Arcade Rat. And here we go, tries to get in there with the drive impact. Not gonna happen. The way he smacks you with the cane a bunch of times, I swear, it makes me laugh. Oh.
Yeah. It's all well animated too. The crouching medium punch going straight for the kneecaps, it hurts me every single time. I'm like, this has to hurt more than a limb does, right?
Dude, and then every time he hits you with the punch counter on the stand fierce, and the sound effect and the screen shake is so good.
So impactful.
If you're blocking, yeah, you can't keep blocking these spikes. You're gonna get burned out. He tried to go for air throw, missed it, but he's gonna get the drive impact. Flux Wavez did not see that coming. Should be, doesn't even need the spike follow-up.
Is this the classic arcade strat of go down 2 games, download the opponent, and start making the adjustments?
Hey, man, that's what happens when you have a first to 3. It can happen for sure. Uh-oh, that's... I could have swore he was going to be able to combo off of that. But you're stuck in the corner now, and look at this. Flux Wavez just coming right at Arcade Rat.
Oh, that's so tricky. And the punish counter is there. The mix-up between the fireballs, the overhead, and the low has been so effective for Flux Wavez in this corner specifically. And I love that punish counter against the attempted parry. Again? Oh, no.
He just taking... I mean, he is literally taking a stroll, but there you go. Arcade Rat, one of his favorite attacks right there. We haven't seen Flux Wavez really go for the throw version at all, to be honest with you. Has he used it even one time? I'm not even sure. I can't even remember.
I'd be too terrified to. Once I see that Arcade Rat is doing it, it's like he's got to be aware of it, right?
Right.
But you have to test it at least once. I think that's fair.
Oh, threw him before the bombs exploded. And there we go. Arcade Rat taking it 2-2. Final game here between these two JP players. Ooh.
Oh, so scary. But again, 2 straight from both competitors, right? Flux Wavez started things off with a 2 straight. Arcade Rat now doing the exact same. It truly is a mirror match. Going into it, no checks on the lows. It's Flux Wavez still trying to get some of these jump-ins against Julio, but It's Julio trying to fire back with the low media kicks, but it's not working out. Flux is doing a fantastic job. Or so I thought! Now it's all Arcade Rat.
Yep. Sometimes that raw jump out of the corner is exactly what you needed. Got the cross up off of it, and now you can see that the positions have changed drastically, but knocking him full screen away is Flux Wavez. He's gonna get the juggle off of that. Nice! Not enough to kill, but was that chip? Oh no, he hit him. It
was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it hit. But here we go. Potentially the game for Flux Wavez. He does have match point. And he's hanging out, yes sir, and I love that option to just kind of parry the departure. Too much blocks to actually get a throw from Arcade Rat. Now we get the lights into the knockback. Flux Wavez setting up departure, the spikes.
Oh, he's going to get the hit off Drive Rush. It's going to be great damage here. Doesn't go for the spike. Instead, goes in for the pressure. Blocks, and now he's out of Drive Gauge. And now Arcade Rat has all the opportunity to be as aggressive as... What? Whoa, is this going to kill? That looks like it's too much life.
No, he's dead. That's CA, right? No.
Oh, you're right. Oh, my God.
Damn. Flux Wavez proves himself to be the better man for at least this part of the tournament, right? That was down to the wire, but the science all there. He tested out the waters. His theories were correct against Arcade Rat, and he's going to be the one moving on. However, it's not going to be the last we see of Arcade Rat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, looking into the lower bracket eventually, but he's still got another shot at life considering this is double elimination. But that was a quite the fruitful turn of events in regards to like the JP mirror. I didn't expect it to go down in that manner. Like not even a long shot.
Man, Flux Wavez is definitely trying to make this as hard for himself as possible. If I'm not mistaken, that's 2 sets in a row of going down to the very final game, final round, right? So against Kaneki and now against Arcade Rat, he had this 2-0 lead against Julio, and he's like, all right, I'm coasting along, and then it just like all of a sudden everything goes wrong. So, oh man, but he does move forward, and again, like I said, he has a lot of experience in these in the PlayStation Cups, in the PlayStation Fight Nights. He's been playing in these every single month, and so Flux Wavez knows what it takes to win one of these.
No doubt, no doubt. But I love seeing some of the names that we have on here still continuing on into the bracket. Speaking of which, let's take a look at our next semifinal match between Knuckle Doo and T. Smith. This one is going to be a doozy in regards to what the speed is going to be like, because we saw Knuckle Doo take down Osvaldo 3-0. T. Smith pretty much did the same with Gold Unit 3-1, almost similar fashion. So we're going to see who truly is the speedster in regards to this matchup. Now, I think Cammy does have a little bit of a problem against Honda because I think he's been the entire anti-air toolkit for how long now, since his inception. So I imagine Knuckle Doo will be switching off for Guile in this matchup specifically.
Yep. Guile, projectile characters have always given Honda a little bit more trouble than normal. So I imagine, yeah, there we go. Knuckle Doo going with the Guile. So let's see how he handles this match over here. And we saw it before. T. Smith really with a really calculated Honda, as you see from that jump in here. Okay, all the way to the corner already, and Knuckle Doo showing he's not scared to wake up with the OD flash kicks.
Oh, I will say majority of the Sonic Booms that T. Smith has parried didn't leave him net positive, by the way, because of the spacing, or at least the timing from all of them. But this could lead to so much damage. I'd be surprised if he killed though.
So close.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Terrence Smith, excuse me? Excuse me, young man. That's too much damage.
Is this the same Terrence as the Chun-Li player?
It is not. It is not.
Okay. I can't remember what that Terrence's last name was.
Soriku on CFN, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Gotcha. Again, if you're gonna drive parry those, you know, try to hold it so that you parry too. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Guile could simply just not chuck a boom for the next one and force you to go negative.
Right, and you know, even though Knuckle Doo lost to, you know, having his his OD flash kick blocked the second time, it's information that he's gathering on how T Smith wants to play, right? He gets information on that. And so now he has a little bit of better read on the rhythm, maybe not. Look at this, T Smith and the great anti-air and the continued pressure in the corner.
Oh, that's gonna be hella punishable. On the way out. Level 3. So this is going to be huge, right? It's close to burnout, but with the Sonic Boom, I think T Smith just might be. We're going to set it up. No, we're not. Knuckle Doo, he's wary of it.
Trying to bait out something, potentially.
Yeah, you could get critical guarded, right?
Yeah, and again, if you parry those projectiles, it is a net 0. Oh, what a jump in, and wow, the drive reversal right there. Risky stuff.
Or I should say you could get super now that I think about it. But T Smith still sitting on a full stick of butter. He has 3 in the bottom right. The parries are there. No anti-air. The drive reversal is so huge. Knuckle Doo, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. That could have been so bad. And oh my god, the drive reversal actually connected against T Smith.
T Smith, I love the patience that he's playing though. He's not pushing too hard, but every time he gets hit by one of those errant Sonic booms,
damn.
And frankly, Knuckle Doo also playing very patient as well.
Oh, that's punishable!
No, that's punishable!
Oh, that could have been big. Even bigger. T Smith with the patience against the OD flash kick. Knuckle Doo falling in his first game against the Honda man. That was excellent discipline. But the reads, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a match.
Okay, so now Knuckle Doo down 1 game right now, trying to read the rhythm. But dude, T Smith's jumps over the Sonic Boom have been absolutely immaculate. He has very rarely guessed wrong and been flash kicked in. Getting reset out of the air like that and Honda just continuing to sail is so painful. What a drive parry!
Yeah, I like that situation too, especially with the Sonic Blade being out in front of you like that. I think it's just so smart from T Smith. He knows the options. That's no ordinary Diamond 1, baby.
Yeah, this is T Smith is playing fantastic right now. Meanwhile, Bob Custom Gamer right now needing to try to tie this up at 1-1. Oh, out of there, nice. Spending the OD for the flash kick just to get some extra damage too. Oh no, you got caught. You crouched. Okay.
And I do like the knockback too from the OD flash kick. It allows you to set up a little bit safer than normally than I guess maybe like a flash kick perhaps. But I'd have to look at that again. Knuckle Doo is always ready for the butt slams, man.
Yeah, the butt slam hasn't been working as well. Really, honestly, a lot of it has just been the jumps. Nice, the armor, but he burned himself out to do it. Oh, but so did Knuckle Doo. He burned himself out now. So now we've got straight up Street Fighter 2 days. No EX meters for anybody.
Man, these guys are exhausted. Uh-oh.
Oh,
I don't know what that was about. That was definitely a raw read of passion coming in from T Smith, and he's going to pay dearly for it.
That was, I mean, that is the definition of Hail Mary right there. He was just like, you know what, Knuckle Doo is going to better after I block the Sonic Boom. He's going to Sobat, he's going to knee, he's going to do something.
Yeah.
And then Knuckle Doo did nothing.
Knuckle didn't. I get it. I totally get it.
Knuckle didn't do it.
Yeah. Dang. That's a good call. Oh, the drive impact. Not there for T Smith.
Nice.
Absolutely ready for it again.
Yeah. Just shows you, though, that Knuckle Doo has definitely practiced. And it's a tough thing for Honda to do because the 3 different butt slams have different hang time in the air. But I think Guile's crouching heavy punch just hits high enough that it kind of negates it.
Sure, and like I think it's really active as well, so it lingers more than most other like anti-airs, I think, right? It's just the way that it's animated, it makes me feel that way, at least. But I think the active frames on that is pretty substantial.
Oof. All right, here we go. Knuckle Doo now. Oh my God, you just walked up and sumoed right in there, but didn't get a combo. He was too far away. I think he was trying to cancel that standing heavy punch, but it hit on the non-cancelable part, and now he burned out, and now Knuckle Doo takes a 2-1 lead.
You'll never believe me if I told you this, James, but crouching heavy punch, the active frames on it, 5.
Really?
Yeah, that thing lasts for a while, right? So I could totally see why that's such an effective anti-air against something like a butt slam, no matter what strength you happen to choose. And also, since it hits directly above Guile, I don't think it's going to be. I think it's there's not that much of like leeway for Honda to actually land it. I think it's more room for error, I should say, more room for error for Guile to land that anti-air.
All right, well, here we go now. Potentially final game for Knuckle Doo here. Gonna spend most of the game as usual here trying to zone with the fireball, but what a perfect parry. Obviously the damage gonna be heavily scaled.
Ooh.
Was that a safe jump setup that he just messed up? I'm not sure.
Perhaps. Better for Knuckle Doo. Now he gets to apply all this pressure, or so I thought. The counter poke from T. Smith. The crouching medium punch connecting into the headbutt was so good. The damage is there, and also just getting out of the corner is so important for Honda.
Yeah, and you know, some people talking about this in the chat over here about, you know, fireball spam from Guile. Obviously, it's very, very strong, but again, there are answers to it, right? I mean, you always see, like, otherwise we would just see nothing but Guile mirrors and everyone just spamming Sonic Booms all day like original Street Fighter 2. You know? There are ways around it. People can fight it. You just have to know, and you have to not let it frustrate you. That's
to be fair,
the big key.
We've seen the answers from T. Smith, right? Having the appropriate reads against like the Sonic Booms, if you can kind of see a pattern, but also like having the discipline to kind of sit and parry majority of them to kind of force that pattern to happen is really important. But now, speaking of patterns, T. Smith, he's trying to read Knuckle Doo into throwing a Sonic Boom, but he jumped 3 times in a row, ladies and gentlemen, and he got stuffed out every single time, and he's continuing to get stuffed mid-air.
I mean, one of the things that T. Smith hasn't used at all, and again, oh no, here we go, big opportunity for T. Smith, a miscalculation on Knuckle Doo's part here, so this is gonna hurt. Into the level 3, and for that one mistake, Knuckle Doo is going to die out of this round. But one of the things, no, I'm wrong, okay, he has a pixel left, okay.
So that's smart, too. Even if Knuckle Doo did nothing, T. Smith was in a prime opportunity to use that drive impact because he had no life left. Knuckle Doo had no life left to rebuttal and use that armor, right?
But, you know, one of the things that I haven't seen from T. Smith is Honda still has neutral jump heavy punch, which lets him swerve around which lets him swerve around fireballs and can make it harder for Guile to spam Sonic Booms because now he has to wait for the Sonic Boom to leave the screen behind Honda, which gives Honda a few extra frames to move forward, you know? He missed the charge on the flash kick.
Oh, he's still not going for the stop sign as you talked about earlier. He could have navigated his way after the Sonic Boom, but I think maybe a flash kick would have been able to reach, perhaps, which is why he's so reluctant to do it. No shot.
No, that's not fast enough. And see, right there is a perfect example right there. T. Smith getting frustrated. Towards the end, like the first game, this is what we call mental fatigue here. In the first game, he was really patient. He was fighting the Sonic Booms, finding the right times to jump. But then Knuckle Doo started reading his jump timings a little bit more, started making the adjustments. And we didn't see T. Smith make the counter adjustments. Like I said, one of the things that I really think he was missing was the neutral jump over Sonic Boom. Projectiles haven't been as strong for a long time since Street Fighter 2. And this is the strongest projectiles have been in a long time, intentionally so. You can see it from a lot of the decisions that the dev team made. But one of the ways to fight the Sonic Boom is the neutral jump. And Honda has that steerable neutral jump heavy punch that allows him to approach a little bit better. So if T. Smith ever has an opportunity to listen to this commentary, that is something to work into your game for sure against Guile.
I would love to see it. I mean, at least show off that card once. If he gets flash kicked also as a counter, hey, so be it. At least you tried it. But let's take a look. Again, T. Smith no longer in the winner's side. He still has another shot at greatness, though, on the lowers end of the bracket. So He's going to be facing off against El Chicote. That's going to be pretty big. You know, Arcade Rat also taking down Gold Unit 3-1. Yikes already. You know, I got to say, I was hoping we could see a little bit more Gold Unit, but as it stands right now, we are still running through the lower bracket. But that leaves us with what up above? The upper bracket. Flux Wavez going up against Knuckle Doo. Dang, that's going to be pretty huge.
Boy, that is going to be a brutal match over there. Flux Wavez, having gone through 2 sets of 3 out of 2, his reward is to go up against Knuckle Doo. Dang, so that is going to be a tough one to deal with there. And again, Knuckle Doo clearly right now in the running for one of the strongest NA players. It's him, Mena RD, of course, Saba, Punk, Christatarian. That might be like the top 5 at this point in time in NA, right?
So looking into it again, if you guys want to participate at the next PlayStation Cup, again, be sure to go to compete.playstation.com. Sign up and get involved, right? We highly encourage this every single time that we have any sort of tournament, but this one specifically, this is the prime spot to get that level up experience and also be able to play off against the greats and eventually become a great yourself. Again, compete.playstation.com is where you need to go to sign up for all the PlayStation tournaments, as well as get the latest and greatest in news and updates for these tournaments. In the meantime, you guys have been tuning in to the top 8 thus far, but we're still getting down to the nitty-gritty to at least reveal who will be in our top 4. We'll have that answer for you soon, right after this break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the PlayStation Cup.
PlayStation.
Gaming is defined by moments.
It is intense.
The joy of victory and the thrill of overcoming challenges. Welcome to our home of competitive gaming, where we can all experience exciting esports moments.
The final 1v1 of the game here.
And celebrate the pros and the rising stars.
I do want to see a female in the NCS.
Bringing you guides and deep dives.
Horizon can go up, but she can't go up fast.
And tournaments where the community competes.
Wait! Did he get? No way!
Whether you're in a heated match,
Back, let's go!
or watching along at the edge of your seat.
A duo taking down a trio!
Let's create moments from the games you love.
He'll take it!
Join us and subscribe to our channel to follow everything esports on PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Get ready for the excitement, drama, and glory of the Ultimate Fighting Game Tournament.
Oh my god.
On August 4th, EVO returns to Las Vegas.
He'll take it! He's your Bounty Blood 2022 champion!
Witness the world's best players confront new trials and reignite old rivalries on the grandest stage of all. Featuring reigning champions and hungry challengers battling in a relentless pursuit of victory.
To become the Evolution Champion!
3 days, 8 games, thousands of fans worldwide. Immerse yourself in the vibrant world of fighting game culture, including interactive booths showcasing the next era of cutting-edge gaming. The battles will be fierce, the victories monumental.
All that practice paid off.
Be part of a global community watching every move, unless of course, you're the one making them. Are you ready? Experience the world's premier fighting game tournament and join us at EVO 2023 from August 4th to 6th. And keep an eye on the PlayStation Esports YouTube channel for all things EVO.
PlayStation.
Man, all of those commercials get me so hyped. Welcome back, everybody, to the North America Street Fighter 6 PlayStation Cup. My name is Vicious, here with James Chen, the in-game commentators of Street Fighter 6, plus special guest Kat. You know, I gotta say, I love seeing you with your cats every single time, man. And I gotta say, it's very, very cute. But let's get down to the business, right?
They want food. That's just what it is. They're like, why are you doing this? I want food. So there we go.
That's just how it goes, man. Again, as we mentioned earlier, we are doing the North America Top 8 for Street Fighter 6 for PlayStation Cup. In case you happen to miss it, right? We also had the EU tournament happen earlier in the day. If you guys want to catch out the VOD for that, again, be sure to check out youtube.com/@PlayStation Esports. And also check out the VOD for what had happened in today's matches a little bit earlier on. You can do that as well. Again, we're going into the top 4, right? We've had our top 8 started, you know, just about like maybe like an hour ago, perhaps, you know, hour and a half. But this is what it transpired, right? Some quick 3-1s and 3-0s a couple of times over, but the big ones that we've seen thus far are the 3-2s from Flux Wavez and Kaneki, as well as Arcade Rat and Flux Wavez. Other than that, I feel like it's been at a very steady pace.
Right, but I mean, for me, obviously a surprise here. I mean, maybe not that much of a surprise, but Smith, who we saw play really solidly against Gold Unit, and, you know, obviously, you know, falling short against Knuckle Doo, but has taken out El Chicote in the losers bracket right there. I can't imagine Honda versus Lily might be the most fun match to play.
Doesn't sound like
but
it.
yeah, T. Smith gets to go up against, of course, a JP player in Arcade Rat, aka Julio, down there on the lower side of the bracket. But before we go there, we're going to be watching that Flux Wavez versus Knuckle Doo. Oh, man. And again, Flux has been having a lot of close matches here, and, you know, it's not going to get any less sweaty than going up against Knuckle Doo here.
That's true, right? I feel like in this matchup, you know how Flux Wavez is kind of like taking the back seat to some of his games. Again, he's the only one that has gone down 2 games and slowly made that comeback happen. I don't know if you get those kind of chances with someone like Knuckle Doo, but who knows, right? I think, you know, the adaptation in some of those games is what really separates Flux Wavez from the rest of the competition. But going into it, Knuckle Doo, again, he's been a champ for a very, very good reason. Also taking down top 8s, if not the #1 spot, at a variety of different weekly events at a very consistent basis. This might just be the ultimate challenge for both of these players to see who gets seeded into the winner's side of Grand Finals.
And the ultimate challenge for production right now as they keep going, oh, wait, last time Knuckle Doo used, and you know what? Knuckle Doo is going Cammy again.
Yeah, about that. I'm so sorry. We should do Guile with an asterisk next to it. Unless it's JP, then it's Cammy, right?
Yep. So most likely Knuckle Doo is going to be going with the Cammy here. We saw that's what Knuckle Doo did in the first round and just ran over the JP opponent that he went up against. I can't remember who it was, but he's going to try
Osvaldo,
to do it again. Yeah, Osvaldo, that's what it was. Yes, thank you.
So we'll see it. You notice how Knuckle Doo has been at a little bit of a slower pace right out the gate, right? I think there's a lot that Flux Wavez is kind of like throwing out there in the neutral to kind of force Knuckle Doo to kind of pump the brakes a little bit. But once that knockdown happens, he sees green. It means go time.
And you see right there, Knuckle Doo using that stand heavy kick as a good whiff punish, really good range on that. But look at this, Flux Wavez seeming like he's had some good experience with Cammy, because remember, we saw Knuckle Doo just literally walk past the danger zone against Osvaldo earlier.
That was messed up.
Gross.
And the corner carry off of the level 1, it's so good.
Oh no, and now you're burned out? Oh, I love the fact that when he got burned out, Flux Wavez, the first thing he did was dash forward, defying the expectations right there. Most of the time when you're burned out, you get scared and become super defensive. Oh, you are getting punished. Ow.
Yeah, little to no resources to get it. But, interesting option to go for like the OD cannon spike to get the side switch. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe he just wanted the damage, but more importantly so, Knuckle Doo, speaking of damage, he's got more than enough to finish his plate. No, sir, he wants to take some to go. Give him the to-go box now. He wants some leftovers.
And oh, nice, gets the throw. And you also see it too, Knuckle Doo, when he's attacking JP as a meaty, he's using light buttons, which makes it so that the OD amnesia isn't, he's not going to be able to punish her for it, right? In fact, specifically in this matchup, I've labbed the situation. If Cammy does standing light kick and he does OD amnesia, if you smash throw, the only thing JP can do is jump away. It's an interesting situation.
Yeah, and I think in that time, Cammy gets to recover as well. I don't know if the OD amnesia actually hits Cammy on recovery, so that's very interesting to know, but here we go.
Ooh, okay, gonna go for the big damage here. Flux Wavez trying to get a good life lead here.
Oh, the high-low game too. More so just a strike throw game. I shouldn't say high-low because not a lot of JPs, or JP in general doesn't really have access to a high-low game like that. But I will say this, Knuckle Doo still pushing the agenda. He's got full bars down below. He's got 3 supers to go, but
yeah, any hit right now. Any hit right now is a drive canceled. Oh my god, did he get it in time? He faked it! He faked it! Is this enough to kill? It is! 100%. Wow! Okay.
And that was OD spike too. He wasn't even done with that combo. He still had a little bit left in the tank, just in case. But that is Flux Wavez, man. That was a nice counterplay. Knowing full well that Knuckle Doo was looking for the Cycle Phantom, if you will, but the feint out, so smart from Flux.
Well, here we go, corner situation now. This is scary. He baits out the OD amnesia. He does it back to back, but again, the light buttons from Cammy, as you can see, makes it so that she actually has a little bit of the offense. Beautiful spin knuckle with the punish counter, getting full damage off of that.
Oh! Did you see that? Right at the time of OD amnesia's activity ending, the punish counter was there from Knuckle Doo. That was precision.
I love it. Flux Wavez was just like, you know what? You've countered my OD amnesia, whatever. I'm just going to keep doing it. Because I think, maybe he was like, I'm done with this round, but I'll just keep sending this message that I will keep trying to do this. Sometimes you want to get that kind of a mental game going.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that from T. Smith earlier, how he was trying to jump over every single boom, 3 in a row. We totally get that idea, but for Knuckle Doo,
level 3,
he doesn't give a dang. I gotta say, man, Knuckle Doo dang, taking out all the rest of that life bar. Level 3, finish.
Oh, so fast. It's just once Cammy gets in on you, it's terrifying. Her walk speed, the fact that she has the dive kick at close ranges, and just really, really strong buttons once she gets it. Wow, Knuckle Doo going for one of those rare Hail Marys at the start of the round just to give yourself the pressure right from the get-go.
Yeah, but she immediately loses the turn. Like, if it's not punishable, she's definitely going to be within range to, like, you know, at least force a block with a lightning. And I love that. Yeah, walking up a little bit to build some of that drive gauge back. So smart. From Mr. Custom Gamer again, Knuckle Doo. Look at the aggression and the oppression.
Yep, and again, you see all the light buttons from Knuckle Doo. That is something that both he and Punk do really, really efficiently. Love the side switch combo. Beautiful stuff. Good awareness to have that combo in mind. Oh, damn it.
Beautifully orchestrated. Knuckle Doo not missing a beat with the rest of that combo. And luckily enough, I mean, for Knuckle Doo, he didn't even have to spend bar for any of that. I think he could have just gone into the uppercut regardless of what had happened after that roundhouse, the back roundhouse at that. But look at this again, Knuckle Doo there.
Oh,
no, wait, it's just roundhouse straight up, isn't it? Yeah, so it's just roundhouse straight up. My mistake.
It's unfortunate she doesn't get anything off of that, but I mean, I think most people will tell you good. Because that button is way too strong as a punish counter to be able to get a big reward off of that.
I guess so.
Oh!
The delay on the crouch jab for the counter hit, that could have been game. Knuckle Doo missed the rest of the combo. I think he had tried to go for level 3 raw, but he had just missed it. I don't know, man. This is important. No, Knuckle Doo, he's in burnout, by the way.
Yeah, they're both in burnout, but Flux Wavez is going to get out of it. Oh, no! He tried to do the double throw, and now still in burnout. You are just getting chipped all day. That is a problem. Dude, being in burnout versus JP is one of the most uncomfortable situations you can put yourself into in this game. It is terrifying.
It's intimidating, right? You can't even take a single step. One misstep, you could get spiked. Just like that, too.
And even if you block, you're just losing health so fast with the chip damage.
And then he'll just push you back if you're blocking all the normals, which you have to. Or sorry, all the special moves, which you have to. No departure for you. And that was at the edge of the screen, too. I don't even think there was going to be a chance for Flux Wavez to even use that. The command grab forces Knuckle Doo away with the jump back. Punish countering the parry, I believe. Yeah, that was a throw.
Yeah, but no anti-airs from Flux. That's one of the things that's missing right now. See, again, Knuckle Doo finding all these jumps in. No crouching heavy punch again. No crouching heavy punch.
Man. It's the threat of the dive kick, right?
Yep.
One misstep from Flux Wavez could lead to death. Is this it? No shot. You can't do that.
He didn't have a portal out either, so he couldn't teleport. Yeah, there was pretty much nothing he could do.
No. I think perhaps maybe he could have gone into like a drive parry because he had opted to go to level 1, right? Unless I'm tripping. I don't know if there was enough time for him. Or at least maybe like drive rush and then.
Could he have OD amnesia there, by any chance? Does that work against level 3 supers?
I don't think so. I think there's like armor. I think it breaks armor.
I feel like it gets armor broken, yeah. You have to double check that one now.
Yeah, it does have armor break properties, technically. So, in theory, the OD Amnesia should not be able to pass.
Okay.
Look at this. He's telling you to move out of the way. Go, move. Excuse me.
And also, yeah, again, you cannot drive parry out of the start of the drive rush. Drive parry is the one thing that is very, very delayed. You can cancel the start of the drive rush with impacts and special moves, but you cannot drive parry until very, very much further on. Basically, you can't drive parry until you can actually just block.
Yeah, and that's fair. I don't know if there was enough time for him to actually just like sit there and block either. That's what I was most curious about. I had to watch the replay on that again. But Flux Wavez still sitting at the life advantage against Knuckle Doo. And look at that. That's the best tool that you could ever ask for against a dive kick character.
So good.
It's so good, and it's so far.
That's one of those.
Other than Dawson, that has to be like one of the farther reaching air normals, right?
That's just one of those buttons that you're like, really? You gave JD this?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, just draining the drive meter. I like that option. He's not going to get much damage, so why not? Just drain that drive meter. Make it harder for Knuckle Doo to get in. Oh, lucky that he was able to drive rush under, so the cross-up wasn't going to be there for Knuckle Doo to get plus frames off of that.
Yo,
was that in
Flux
time?
So he was buffering the backdash into super multiple times, and he's caught Knuckle Doo 2 times now with the level 1 against the dive kick. Very smart.
I am
Flux.
modern controls.
Yeah.
Oh, the challenge!
Uh-oh. You just might be close to dead. Uppercut. No, he missed his opportunity. Oh, he's got it.
Doesn't
Knuckle
matter.
Doo.
Doesn't matter.
There's no
He
shot
still
he's
gets
dropping
the
this.
kill.
He doesn't even need to spend the bar.
So he's going to come in here with a full level 3, which means as soon as Flux Wavez gets about halfway down in life, if Knuckle Doo has even just 4 OD bars, he can kill from right there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, all this little damage that JP is taking, unfortunately, is going to be really bad. Oh,
Double
wow,
delete, that
just
was slick.
He just goes for it right here. This is going to do good damage and give him a chance to build some of that drive gauge back. So it's a good opportunity for him. Gets the meaty,
No.
doesn't get a full combo off of it. What a
What was
check.
that?
Uh-oh,
I can't
one
imagine
hit
that
now
was
from Knuckle
intentional
Doo can
from
kill. One hit for Knuckle Doo will kill. Nice.
Man.
Gets Knuckle.
That's so close. Flux Wavez is fighting for his life. You can't throw a projectile. He's fainting. That's why he's doing it. Air throw. I love it. Let me see some more games. Let me see some more games out of you, Flux.
Got that button.
I'm playing so good.
Oh, he's trying to sneak with that crouching medium kick. No, instead the cane is gonna find its mark, and he ties it up 2-2. And again, most people believe that Cammy has a distinct advantage in this matchup, but as you can see, the JP players out here, they know that this matchup is bad. So guess which matchup they're gonna be studying the most?
Yeah. This one specifically, right? Flux already making significant changes to the matchup already, but this is where the problem starts. Knuckle Doo having you in the corner like this, but man, the counter poke from a low medium is just as good. It's been pretty much dead even thus far in terms of exchanges, blow for blow. Now it's bar for bar. Flux Wavez spending that OD for very good reason. There's the spike off the departure. There could have been a lot more.
Oh, I feel like if Flux Wavez hit a button on the way down, he would have gotten a big old jump-in combo. Sniping with the low. Here we go. Yep, baits out. The drive reversal, huge damage for Knuckle Doo and continued pressure, but the OD amnesia coming out to really turn that momentum around a little bit. Does it get out of the air? Yes, just a raw jump. The spike.
Oh. No, he's over it. No way.
He even dive kicked in the air to hover longer, and it still hit.
James, do you think maybe Knuckle Doo could have cleared that if he didn't dive kick? Do you think he would have been like over the character instead of lingering where the hitbox was?
I don't know. I wish we had replay takeover.
Dude, I think maybe Knuckle Doo would have cleared the character's body. I think onto the other side, genuinely.
Oh no. Well, that Knuckle Doo is mad, I guess. Look at this. Here we go. Final game, final round again for Flux Wavez. Third time in a row here in the PlayStation Cup. Flux Wavez is getting his money's worth, and he didn't have to spend anything. He had to come and play anyway. It's free to enter.
That feels so good. The counter hit pokes? No, nothing out of it, though. Oh, the chase down the roundhouse does get the punish counter. It's Knuckle Doo pursuing with some of the heavier normals, and there's the big opener. Are we going to spend it? We have to, right? We have to get some of our gauge back. But more importantly,
good call.
the damage also. Knuckle Doo is in a prime position to take it against Flux, especially after this.
Unfortunately for Cammy, she has one of the faster CAs, but gonna get a hit right there. Interrupts the drive rush, and unfortunately for Flux Wavez, 3 matches in a row going down to final game, final round, but couldn't clutch it out this time, is finally getting sent to the lower bracket.
I see.
And there you go, Flux Wavez. Oh, man. But, man, he's MVP of this tournament so far, for sure. For sure.
I would say perhaps that I might agree with you, to be honest with you. But I also say, you know, that could be left for Knuckle Doo with the way he's been performing thus far. I think, you know, he's had a very, very strong start thus far into the tournament, right? 3-0 first against Osvaldo, 3-1 against T. Smith, and now down to the wire against Flux Wavez, who's also one of the favorites in this tournament, taking it down. Very clutch, as a matter of fact, because we've seen the trend thus far from Flux Wavez. He's gone to the final game, final round every single time, and he's taken over his opponent. But Knuckle Doo, he sends him down. He's the only one to make him bleed. So let's take a look at that updated bracket and see who Flux Wavez he has to face off against next, right? We're still waiting on the matchup between T. Smith and Arcade Rat, which is going to be happening momentarily.
Yeah, so it's going to be happening on the stream directly, so we'll see how the Honda and the JP are going to do against each other. That's going to be a good match coming up here. I can't wait to see how this works. And again, dude, like, so many characters are so good. I mean, we've seen what the Honda can do. We've obviously see how strong Cammy can be in this game as well, but JP really, really strong. I love it right now. I mean, honestly, everybody you talk to has a different top 3, top 5. And it just depends on who they've been annoyed by the most, honestly.
That's fair. That is fair. I think both of these characters annoy me an equal amount, I think, on the grind to ranked matches, right? Grind to master. But all jokes aside, I think overall, E-Honda, I don't know if he has a bad time in this matchup because he has such a way of getting past the obstacles that are before him, like the projectiles, right? I think he does a great job of just closing the gap overall and dealing out that damage.
Burned out in 20 seconds. That's crazy right there. And I don't remember him using any OD. That might have been mostly just from blocking. And so far, Julio. Oh, well, here comes Honda. Yeah, it's a little too late. He didn't have the meter for his own drive impact back. And now he just got overheaded to death right there. Was not expecting the overhead ghost.
Oh boy. Back throw allows Arcade Rat to set up shop with the spikes. Now it's up to Terrence T. Smith, to figure out what needs to come next. The perfect parry is there. And I love that. You know, that could have been any other normal because of standing medium punch being plus, right? Man, speaking of perfect parries, he's got it down pat on defense. Arcade Rat taking some of the drive gauge away off of that combo specifically. Very, very smart.
He was able to get a lot going. And you know what? Interesting enough, now that I think about this, watching this here, Arcade Rat, he was one of the people that eliminated Ultra David from that first tournament in Riverside. And he did it a lot by punishing the butt slam by jumping up and hitting it out of the air. That was where a lot of his reactions are.
That's going to be more than enough damage. In ruin. Arcade Rat taking the first game. There's been a lot of mobility in regards to this matchup, right? Arcade Rat also has had a few counters against maybe like the butt slams. More importantly, stopping the headbutt all together, just outright. Either it's a perfect parry or a crouching medium punch. Arcade Rat is ready, and that's going to be so detrimental to T. Smith's strategy.
Just the flick of the wrist and that cane is just like, it's just so nonchalant. I love JP's anime. Now that was far. Okay, look at this, having trouble getting in. I like that jump right there, because yeah, I thought T. Smith was going to go for a butt slam or a headbutt or something like that too. Look at this, back to full screen.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
I love the juggle off of the departure 2 punish counter. Man, the edge of the cane hitting you right in the chest. That's got to be super painful. I don't care how many bowls of Chunko stew E-Honda consumes on a daily basis. Whatever his caloric intake is, it's not enough to stop that pain from happening.
Oh, here we go. OD amnesias all day from the empty jump to low. That wasn't even a combo. I don't know why T. Smith got hit by that, but it's going to result into a confirm for Arcade Rat. Look at all this life gone from T. Smith now.
The delay on the crouch heavy punch for the frame trap, that was so slick. If you guys saw it, man, that was poetry in motion. Arcade Rat with the delay on a very long-winded normal, by the way. Well, okay, not necessarily long-winded, but a very heavy normal. That was so sneaky.
Dude, Arcade Rat is not scared to use this OD amnesia, man. He is just, he's not scared to use that or the command throw projectile. Arcade Rat, the way that he plays JD is very fearless, and I think that's what makes it really hard to fight him, to be honest with you. Look at this, and then he burns him out with it.
And I love that, letting Departure do all the work, letting the spike go off manually, and again, he's been doing such a fine job of getting the mix-up options just like that. Yeah, off of the fate, punish counter, a perfect T-Smith. Even though he's gotten some of these jump-ins, there hasn't been a normal backing it up, right? He hasn't gone in with like these big jump-ins to actually land on JP.
Oh, and then clipped by that stalagmite right there. Oh,
Stalagmite. I think about the Tails games every time. But anyways.
And there's the stalactite, right? I remember, I think it was on one of the other broadcasts, you guys were trying to decide what to call the spikes. I think it was you, like David, Sage, and everybody. So I was like, just call them stalactites and stalagmites. No,
I just call them spikes, brother. Keeping it simple. Ooh, yeah. The damage on that always juicy. Command grab incoming? No! Arcade Rat thought the same thing, and the jump out, so beneficial for him. And look at the pressure. Even if you're perfect parrying, I love that from T-Smith. No fear in his heart.
Yeah, he saw the command throw goats and was like, no. And shout outs to him for jumping forward to get the punch. Dude, and then Arcade Rat's like, you're not doing it again, dude. Trust me. I'm going to get you with it just to show you that you are not the boss of me. Oh, he tried it again. Dude, he is being definitely very persistent with that command throw.
Oh, we. Oh. In ruin. The damage. More importantly, getting some of that drive gauge away. Here comes the mix. Punish counter. He's burnt out. This could be game.
He tried to drive parry. He's not going to work. No! Pixels to the corner. Barely gets stunned. And there it is. Arcade Rat.
I love how the freeze frame happens
game.
right as the foot is over the nostrils. Like, take a whiff of these shoes, baby. You know what I'm saying? Fresh out the box. 3 out of 0. I'm putting you in a box instead. That was such a close call from T-Smith. As soon as he was in burnout, I feared for his safety. I genuinely did. It's like, what are you going to do about this upcoming drive impact? And it just so happens to be like right at the corner. Just that very last pixel where the burnout had happened. Or at least, sorry, the stun impact in the wall had happened. But even if perhaps T-Smith didn't touch the wall, it still would have been such a dire situation, especially with Chip being so imminent.
Yeah. It was a bad situation regardless, so. But that determines a little bit of the lower bracket right there. We have one more lower bracket match to play, however, because waiting down there is Flux Wavez. And didn't they play each other earlier, right? And Flux Wavez ended up winning this one 3-2 versus Arcade Rat, and now we've got to do it again.
Okay. So here's a big one, right? Considering this is the lower final, I will say this. Let's prep the Cammy picture for Knuckle Doo, right? We know that it's guaranteed the JP matchup for his upcoming match, all right? So we've got that down pat. What we don't know is who's going to be the JP to move on between these two. Already getting the big jump in against Arcade Rat is Flux Wavez. And now we got the departure, allowing him to close the gap significantly. And I love that drive rush to interrupt the initiation of that Phantom. Send him back full screen. We don't want it. Return the sender.
All right. And this is an aggressive JP match here. Again, it's really hard because once one JP gets started, sometimes it can be hard to interrupt the other JP. And so they actually want to be kind of aggressive against each other. Nice drive parries, but couldn't keep it up. And now Arcade Rat down to very little health here. Gets the punish counter, but and then the reset for the throw. So one more hit here. He's gonna set up the mix up with the level 2. Force him in here. Teleport on over.
Oh, he was so ready. Uh-oh.
And now you gotta block. Oh, never mind. Arcade Rat tried to snipe him with the quick crouching medium kick, perhaps to get the KO before the level 2 hit him. But a good block by Flux Wavez gives him that first round.
I genuinely wonder whether or not Arcade Rat would have been able to jump at that sharp angle to hit Flux Wavez. But man, that was such a close call. Great for Flux Wavez too, with all that defense that he had in the prior round, saving that super art level 2 for that very moment. But Occult, man, that was so far. That crouching media punch anti-air from what now? That was sick.
Oh, whoa, I thought he was going to get jumped in on for sure. He was able to block in time, but now push the full screen away. And yeah, it's a tough situation because it's whoever blocks the spike, the other JP can spike first, right? Because obviously the initial spiker is in minus kind of a situation. And so you see them always trying to be a little bit crafty in their positioning.
The halt on the drive rush. Flux Wavez has such a great a great time just stuffing out the neutral attempts to drive rush from Arcade Rat, right? He just has such a mindful grasp of what Arcade Rat wants to do. He's trying to zoom in on him. No, sir, he already has the normal place just in case. And look at that counter hit too on the delay.
Don't forget, Flux Wavez went up 2-0 against Arcade Rat last time, and then Arcade Rat came back and brought it all the way back. So we're not even close to being done yet here.
And I love it. That jump in,
got the punish
so
counter.
important.
Spike, there we go. Another
Yeah,
spike.
Flux needs to keep up his momentum. Oh,
Made
no,
it
the
past.
punish counter is there.
Missed the cross up, was a little bit too far. Wow, jump attack just whiffed.
Oh, that was so tricky. I totally get not anti-airing in that position.
Oh no, the
Damage and the burnout. No way, it's gonna hit, it's gonna hit.
That was the level 2 that he went for, wasn't it? That wasn't the level
Correct.
3. Okay.
He didn't have
I thought
bar
that
for
was-
level 3.
Yeah, you're right. Ooh, Flux Wavez with the clutch, and finally, remember I said the first time they fought, I don't think Flux Wavez ever used the command throw a Phantom, and then finally just busted it out right there, and that was enough for him to steal that round. Oh,
Man.
jeez.
And he zooms right past his own departure. That was so slick. Yo, Flux, he's got a good understanding of this matchup, and it's not even a...
Dude, he is
anywhere
drive
close right
rushing
now.
like crazy right now. He thinks he's DJ.
Hey. Take it. Oh,
Oh, okay.
awareness.
Oh, he made it through.
Back throw now,
Back throw
Arcade
into
Rat.
the corner.
This
Here
is
we
his
go,
opportunity
big
to take a chunk of
opportunity.
damage and get a mix. Here we go, level 2. No, he
Can't
dropped.
drive parry.
Oh,
Can't drive parry. Didn't get a full combo off of that.
uh-oh.
Oh, and now-
You have to guess. The punish counter is there!
In between, he got him in between the dry parries. What great timing there by Flux Wavez.
Jesus, this man is a scientist, dude. He's taking a look at the block stun. He knows full well when to get these exposure to the drive parry. He knows how to punish that appropriately. It's been so well played from Flux Wavez thus far.
All right, but like I said, Arcade Rat able to make the comeback. Oh, no surprise. Diaz from you. Gonna just go for the setup over here. Look at this corner carry. Look at how far. Brought him back to the center of the stage and all the way to the corner now.
Dude, he has
Ooh.
3 light normals. Oh, he's onto you. He's onto your shenanigans. He knows full well that when the light barrages happen and it happens to be any sort of phantom, he's totally willing to just jump back from it. That was so smart from Flux. Now look at that match point again, by the way, against Arcade Rat. Uh-oh.
And I mean, if he can get through this one without having to do another 3-2 set, I'm sure he'll be thrilled. But he is on the verge here because Arcade Rat actually does not look like he's building up any of this momentum to be able to try to bring it to a game 5. And look at this, Flux gonna go for the level 3, send Arcade Rat to a basically just a tiny chunk of life left. Can Flux finish this off?
That is the question. We do have the OD amnesia. Arcade Rat has such a tough hill to climb too. He dropped the combo at that, so it makes it even harder. Arcade Rat does have full critical art, so he has to make this count. He's running along the drive gauge. He just might die.
Kill. Punish counter throws do so much. They're like 2,000 plus damage. You lose a fifth of your life on a punish counter throw. And I think Arcade Rat went for a parry. Flux got the throw, and that did so much damage.
Oh boy, the initial back and forth that we had experienced over in the upper bracket between Arcade Rat and Flux Wavez in the semifinals didn't come out to the same exact results that we were expecting, right? It was full-on assault from Flux Wavez with a 3-0 against Julio Fuentes, aka Arcade Rat. But still, big ups to Julio for still throwing it down with that JP. Flux Wavez, the better player for this tournament. But what that means is he goes back into the duet with Knuckle Doo. We're going to see how this dance plays off in the grand finals with Knuckle Doo, of course, on the winner's side, the upper bracket side. So what happens is if he happens to take it down 3-0 in the initial set, well, he wins the tournament. However, if Flux Wavez happens to get the 3-0 first against Knuckle Doo, well, that calls for the reset, and they have to play it yet again, because technically Knuckle Doo has not been placed in the lower bracket just yet.
And what's going to be interesting here, I feel like Knuckle Doo is actually kind of happy about this, because you imagine going into EVO weekend, your characters are Guile and Cammy, and Cammy is designed for fighting up against JP. Flux Wavez has shown that he is not going to be a JP that's just going to get steamrolled by a Cammy. So this is actually really good practice for Knuckle Doo, I think, fighting against a very Cammy-aware JP.
And I like the way you phrase that, a very Cammy-aware JP, and that's something like, I feel like that's not as common, I think, to the degree of how Flux Wavez studies his opponents and studies the characters that he faces off against. I mean, we're literally seeing it before our very eyes, him going down a couple of games and then making the big comeback. I think this will be a very significant test for both players, right? Because Flux Wavez, despite falling short against Knuckle Doo in the fashion that he did, he's still able to make these massive comebacks. So we'll see if Knuckle Doo has enough of what it takes to kind of close it out right now, or whether or not Flux Wavez has found the adaptations that need to be made against the Cammy.
All right. You know, if Knuckle Doo comes in this with Guile, I'm going to be so mad. Like, really, Knuckle Doo? Are you really going to...
No. If he comes in with a different character entirely, then I will be like, this is a very, very interesting place to put it, right? This is a very interesting timing to get that down pat. But overall, I think the Cammy pick is totally fine. Did you notice, James, that in Cammy's character portrait, she doesn't have the same type of, like, forearm armor that she has on her on both arms? I did not realize that. I think that's got to be her spin knuckle arm, right?
I mean, honestly, because of the way that a lot of these games work, it's not Oro. It just depends on which side she's gonna be and which arm she uses for the spin knuckle, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, just so you guys know, each of these players are playing for right now $500 plus a bunch of exclusive EVO merchandise, or $300 plus a bunch of EVO merchandise. So, you know, good amount of money on the line here. $200 difference between first and second place. We'll get these players up here. Of course, we're playing these all online, and of course, network and, you know, situations crop up every once in a while. So this match will get started very, very soon. No worries, no worries. And again, expecting Knuckle Doo to go with the Cammy versus Flux Wavez JP.
Hey, I'm totally cool with it. Gives me more time to breathe, man, because some of these matches have been very, very fast-paced, right, with little room to breathe, because anything can really happen. We did not expect it to go the way it did between Flux Wavez and Arcade Rat to go in 3-0 in that manner. Even some of the way the games had played out in terms of, like, the back and forth. This is going to be a matchup that I'm very much so looking forward to. One, because it was so close. It could have gone either way. And then taking a look at what happened in the final game, final round with Flux Wavez, I think he might have been able to take it. But we'll see if that's going to be the case again. Knuckle Doo already off to a pretty great start. Oh, man, I cursed it. I cursed it entirely. By the way, that punish counter, I don't think he had the rest of that combo down. I think he might have missed it, perhaps, but I might be a little slow on that one, on that call out.
Well, Knuckle Doo getting the side switch over there. Beautifully done. And here we go. Oh, going to be able to take it here. Goes for the charge right there. And actually spends the EX to make sure it kills. To be honest with you, that charge drill, if I tested it, it actually doesn't do more damage than if you just do regular drill in PvP.
I see.
Charge drill, strangely enough, does not do a lot of extra damage.
I see. I love that. The tick throw, jab into the pressure afterwards. Again, roundhouse to keep Flux Wavez in that corner. No, and I love the drive impact attempt, right? Because of Knuckle Doo showing off that card. High recovery on the roundhouse, not cancelable.
Exactly. He was predicting the heavy kick right there. God, that jump medium punch, we just gonna run into that, but that definitely wasn't gonna be plus frames for Cammy. Well, it was a counter hit, so maybe. But now the burnout from Flux Wavez, he's got to figure out something to do here. It's a scary situation. And just swinging away with a trade combo, Fierce and the Fierce from Knuckle Doo, taking game number 1.
Prime, pristine, and precision, man. I love seeing those trade combos too. That's lab
Dude,
work.
there's so many ways to set up trade combos in this game. Like, there are so many sets for that.
And it's not difficult either to find them. That's the best part about it. I'm not even just talking about the tools, but like just the way that certain characters work. It's like it's so convenient.
Yeah, but I know we were talking about this before the stream started. But that frame meter is like the best tool that I've ever seen in a fighting game. My God, I find setups with that thing so fast.
Yeah. And I'm loving that. I love the little mini game that Cammy plays with her charged special moves too to maximize the efficiency of it. It's so cool, especially like the charged uppercut. Perfect parry. And I love that. Yeah, get rid of some of that drive gauge if you're going to do something.
Yeah.
Parry. Oh, no, all the way over. It doesn't even matter.
Makes
Just
it over
jumping
this
and
time.
clearing it. The
reset.
You dirty dog. Knuckle Doo.
So
he should have more than enough in the tank to get the level 3. Yes, sir. I think it's enough damage to kill. I may be wrong on this one.
Forward. He was walking forward to try to get enough for 2 drive rushes. Didn't quite get it. Doesn't need it. The one was enough, and Knuckle Doo is definitely speed running through this grand finals right now. 2 games so fast. And are we actually gonna see a character switch from Flux Wavez?
So I don't know if you guys saw it. A little bit of a spoiler alert. I think it might be Marisa coming in from Flux Wavez.
Oh, really? I missed that part.
Yeah, he barely changed it. I saw a little bit of that character window right before we switched slides. Yep, it is the Marisa Muscle Mommy coming in. The first or the second one we've seen thus far in this tournament.
I love choosing the angry expression for Marisa the whole time. He's just like, let's go!
Yeah, man.
Shoutouts to Alex Lay, of course, as well, for getting that line in for Luke. Let's go!
That's the gamer cry out, man.
Yep. Oh, man. And shoutouts to Keith for understanding, too, letting him put that in there, so.
Oh, man.
Armor. Phalanx coming through. But Knuckle Doo not affected by this. Look at this pressure from Knuckle Doo right now.
Oh, Gladius 2. Yes, sir. Here comes Flux. Oh, he tried to get sneaky. Yeah, that was the stance. It's a command grab. Knuckle Doo. He sniffed out the desperation. The jump back to finish it off. Look at that tournament point now for Knuckle Doo.
Yep.
Oh, the Gladius does get punished on the OD. And Knuckle Doo, he's already
in there. He checked blood with the light punches. Like I said, that's what Knuckle Doo does so well with the Cammy, him and Punk. They check so well with those light punches when they get close up.
Oh boy. That was a mini dive kick. Are we gonna get to level 2? Yes, sir. In the air.
Level 1? Nope. Goes to the other side. Look at this. Gets the cornerback. Drops the combo.
No punish.
Oh, no. He went for the full max punish. Not gonna happen. This, at this point, I think might be all she wrote. Burns herself out. Now might get chipped to death.
Oh, the drive back is coming back for Knuckle Doo. It doesn't even matter what your name is. He clears the anti-air, and that's Knuckle Doo, your champion for PlayStation Cup North America and Street Fighter 6. What a way to prep himself for EVO. This is the first of many, but what a statement to make. Knuckle Doo coming out on top, undefeated in set play here at PlayStation Cup.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's crazy, too. Because Flux Wavez, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, final game, then finally had a 3-0 against Arcade Rat, and then was the victim of a 3-0 from Knuckle Doo. Knuckle Doo, again, There's a reason why I keep saying he's, you know, one of the favorites in terms of at least for NA hopefuls to try to be able to take EVO, you know, for the NA scene. Of course, the NA scene, the only region to still not have an EVO champion within Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, you know, in the quote modern era of EVO, basically. So,
Right.
you know, Knuckle Doo, as I mentioned, Mana RD, Punk,
Right.
Kaba, and Christitarian, I feel
Sure.
like are 5 of our best chances.
And that makes sense. But looking at the top 8 of our bracket today, again, big ups. I will say our honorable mention for me personally, man, Kaneki. That was so fun to watch his modern Ken. We did see a little bit of Osvaldo and what he could do with JP, but also Gold Unit. Big ups to you 3 for entering and making it into our top 8. I'm looking forward to seeing like what they have in further like PlayStation Cups in the future. But overall, our usual suspects that we have seen, again, putting on quite the show. Everybody in the top 8, big congratulations for making it this far and being part of a huge tournament like this. So well done. Well done all around.
Yeah, and you know what? I really want to see Kaneki keep developing that modern Ken, man. I want to see the modern, because I mean, like you said, Japan, they've been looking at it into a lot more, even to the point where who is it? Shuto is using modern and classic Mariza in the same tournament.
That's correct.
Which is wild. Like, I don't even know how you switch muscle memory like that. Like, more power to him.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
says, he had mentioned it earlier in like some of the translations that it's like playing 2 different characters, but not really. And I guess it's like he'll have classic for certain matchups and then modern for other matchups, which is kind of wild to hear, but it makes perfect sense, right? So. Yeah. With that in mind, again, we've had such a stellar opportunity to look at some of the new faces of the new generation, right? And seeing some of these new mechanics be put into the light that it has. So it's been a very overall amazing day. And like, if you guys haven't done so already, be sure to check out the VODs from the EU tournament that happened just a couple hours ago. But just in case, if we hadn't said it enough yet, just to remind you folks at home, you're watching this now and you want to be a part of all the action, be sure to go to compete.playstation.com to sign up with the best of them and also be a part of our community, man. If you're looking to be one of the greats or even just catch a couple of games and make a couple of new friends in the fighting game community, this is your opportunity to do so. Again, compete.playstation.com.
Yep, and of course, one of the best places to go and make friends and find other people to play matches with is, of course, the Discord, as well as you can see here. Just take your phone right now, point it right at that QR code so you can get right into the PlayStation Discord. You can find regular updates on all of their events. They'll have articles posted up, and again, people are literally watching this stream on there as well. There's just a public stream on the Discord to watch as well, but the most important part is the community aspect. Talk with other players, find training partners, and you know, even if you play in one of these tournaments, if you lose someone, take the time to message them and be like, hey, any advice for me? You know, because a lot of times you'll find players are definitely willing to trade strategies and give advice and such. Again, it's a really great place to go to find other players to practice with. And of course, next week is EVO.
Oh boy.
Jeremy.
Still not ready for it. I'm still not ready for it. To be quite honest with you guys, it's been such a quick little trip into, you know, getting into the lab, and it's already EVO time. It's already August, right? The game just came out a month ago, guys, or at least almost 2 months now. Can you believe that,
2 months
James?
ago, yeah.
I cannot believe it, but I am glad that we're starting to roll out so many different looks in regards to Street Fighter 6. Again, PlayStation tournaments continuing up with all of their tournament series for the fighting game community and all the events that they've been throwing for the esports ecosphere in general. So big ups to them in throwing all of these events, and it's been an absolute blast to be a part of it again.
Dude, that tournament is gonna be a bloodbath, man. Like, we don't know what to expect. It's just, oh man, it is gonna be crazy, and I can't wait to see all of the havoc and chaos that is going to occur there. But again, you know, PlayStation's gonna continue to be throwing these events here for Street Fighter 6 and for a bunch of fight games and all sorts of other video game competitive games out there. So keep an eye out here on twitch.tv/PlayStation. I hope you guys enjoy this. Any last words from you, Vicious?
Thanks to everybody involved, obviously, from those at home to also behind the scenes, where I'm just absolutely glad that you guys are even part of the fighting game community and checking out and giving a shot with Street Fighter 6. So that's all I could really ask for from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a safe and blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you all at EVO, right?
PlayStation